That's the only one I don't like, was getting a 20 fill, because I thought we're going to break down. I just wanted to trim. But now we're going to hold till the high. So the high is 19. On SoFi, the high is 1947. But I'm just going to, if it gets to 45 and there's anybody out there, like a big size or some big seller that I see, I'll probably just hit the bid on the way out. And then one last one, and this is only because we got some questions about Meta.
Okay. It's
starting to curl and look a little bit better. So if Meta gets into VWAP, I don't want to short Meta, I want to short Snapchat. So if Meta pops into 577, and Snapchat's still chilling out right here, and it turns, I might end up just punching the bid, because Snapchat's going sideways as Meta's climbing. So if Meta gets there and Snapchat's still holding VWAP, that's like an easy VWAP short with low risk. Meta falls, it falls. It's past 11 o'clock. I have no idea what lunch is. When I said I had a bad experience with Thai, my daughter loves Thai. It was my wife's birthday yesterday, and they wanted Thai food. We got it from a new place, and they enjoyed it. I was like,
Okay, well, as long as they enjoy it.
No, just, sometimes you eat, and it's like, it wasn't the best.
Yeah, it wasn't
so I don't want Thai food today. I would like us to have assorted sandwiches with a cookie.
Ooh.
But it doesn't.
I can't tell what country it is. I honestly don't know what country it's supposed to be. What I can tell you is it's not going to be assorted sandwiches. And it made me think of an obscure Drake lyric, so that's all I can say.
Oh, wait, stay there for a second, Adara.
Right.
I just realized something.
Yes.
It doesn't matter what lunch is today.
Apple fritter.
Because I'm having an apple fritter.
You
For
are.
snack.
For a snack. Dessert.
Dessert.
Thank you, CrowdStrike. First of all, everybody should just thank you to your portfolios and the relentless buying that is going on today.
Well, as long as you're long, yeah.
Well, as long as you're not. Well, even Michael Burry hedged his
I guess
Nvidia.
his Nimrod is long.
He hedged his Nvidia with calls. So even
of course he did.
benefited. Yeah, it makes some sense. We'll go throw to Sean. So, we'll throw to the midday, but that was Joe just saying he thought that was him, some big call buying out there. It goes to show, like, even somebody who was short understood how strong things might be. But we're going to go over to Joe B. Yep. We'll grab some lunch.
We will.
I'll eat at Apple Fritter, and we'll see you back at 2.
Yo. What's going on? Oh, were we doing?
Yeah.
We were doing. The,
we need. Yeah. Let's go, man. And then after it's just. All right, guys, welcome to the midday show. You know what time it is? Hold on, give me a minute, Assis. We got so much going on. You know who it is already. It's your boy Joey. Oh, I was actually feeling really ill this morning. Much better after we get some of the caffeine in.
All right.
Obi in the house as well, too, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna get into some other things. There's plenty to talk about here. NVDA going on a run, CrowdStrike, CRM. It's just almost you throw a dart at the board and the chances are of your stock going up are relatively high. But it's time for our roll call. You know who I have to give a shout out to? Hey, yo, it's Jesse. What's going on, brother? Scott H, my guy in the chat. Juan Padilla. What's up, Basement Boys? Jody, Arcane, Tosho, Travman, Mike P, DeRider, Snowmeister. What's cooking? Vin Vici. I got my eye on you, my guy. No, I'm only playing around. Casey, what's going on? MF, Dangerous. We have the Mag 7 guy, Jeffrey Jurassic. What's cooking? Couple more. We got Ramin in the chat as well. Outlaw, Trader, DDT. How about DDP, Diamond Dallas Page? For those who know, no. And we got Sit and Spin, a couple of more here. OB. We got Edgar. Put those waves up in the chat. Brad Cowless. What's up, brother? Origin, and one more, Blicky Spears.
Boom, boom.
All right, man. Good morning and welcome everyone to the midday show. Man, oh man,
welcome. It's
going to be an absolute banger today, that's for sure, especially because I'm feeling significantly better, which is always good. But give me a moment here, Assassino, as we pull it up. VinFast. Ooh, I don't have it there. Reported strong Q2 momentum, delivering more than 70,000 EVs globally, up 96% year over year. First half deliveries reached nearly 129,000 vehicles, up 78%, reinforcing the company's growth trajectory across expanding EV portfolios. By mid-year, VinFast had already achieved approximately 43% of both its 2026 four-wheel and two-wheel delivery targets, putting the company firmly on track across both growth engines. There it is. Here's my boy Nimrod. It's funny, yo, I kid you not, brother. I was actually, because you and I were discussing some calls, and I'll message you on the side. And in regards to SoFi, we'll talk about it a little bit later. But yeah, thank you very much. Oh, for the record, I owe everything I made on Nvidia and others to Joey Options. No, man, you don't owe me a thing, and you know this already. Just come hang out. We'll have another good evening like we did before in the city. Better be ready to ride those bikes, my friend. But no, in all
this time you got to wear the right kind of shoes.
Yeah, shoes, everything, and you got to be in a little bit better shape there. No, in all seriousness, Nimrod and I hanging out throughout the duration of him being there, and I'm messaging him on the side, and yeah, I mean, just a great guy all around, and yeah, man, looking forward. Hopefully you come sooner. You know where you could stay. It goes without any question. But yeah, thank you very much for everything that you do. And you bring to our community, man. I think I believe you're a legend around here, and I think the majority of us can agree. And yeah, very, very much appreciated. Enough of me rambling on. Nimrod, you and I will talk on the side. Obi, what do you got going on today?
What's going on, everybody? Crazy day. The software bid apparently is here. I don't know if you guys have seen or heard. We had some pretty banger earnings reports.
Yeah, man.
And Nvidia, not really the belle of the ball. It's CRM.
Yeah, it is.
And a little bit of CrowdStrike as well. Yeah, bit of a miss on my part, not getting involved with the CRM daily weekly breakout. That was a little unfortunate. I've been getting a little chopped up, trying to revert the move. But I wasn't that bad. I wasn't that bad, even though I was a little overboard. I did only start shorting it after it got all the way past that 240. So not horrible, but clearly it's not been working out. And I'm asking my pod members and some of my other trader friends as well. I was like, what is up with this market? There's such directionality and trend. We saw it with ANF. We saw it with, what was that one? DKS. We're seeing it with CRM today. We're seeing it with CrowdStrike. Some of these banger earnings just get these very sustained trends that are not reverting. And I'm just like, oh boy, what's going on here, guys? Things are not happening like they were happening maybe a few weeks ago or maybe last earnings as well. But who cares? The real question is, are we able to recognize and adapt? Still kind of adapting. I'm just like, I'm getting lighter and lighter on the scalps, but the frequency is increasing, so that's not good either. But we'll wait and see where is the next trade. Fortunately, still alive for the day. Didn't really get too chopped up on the CRM, but still looking for that next trade. Nvidia, unfortunately, didn't really do too much, man. But you had a banger entry last night. I was sitting right here, and then he's like, "Yo, give me that fill." And I look over, I'm like, "What are you buying?" He's like, "I'm buying some Nvidia."
Yeah,
Buddy got 205s, and then we had that 215 push in the after hours. We were actually doing the show later on, and it had pushed all the way up into 220s. I was like,
dude,
all right, let's go.
I'm like, okay, so I forget. I think the time from me leaving here to getting home, I look at my phone. Because it was just an add into my position, right? I'm like, okay, let me grab some 205s here. We'll add a little bit. And from the point of me leaving the office to arriving at home, I open up my app once again. And I'm like, what the heck? And then at that point, I messaged Neil and Sean. I'm like, man, this thing's up to 218 just like that. In the blink of an eye, we're long from 36. I like the no position.
Yeah, what is that?
No position.
No position, no position. And then there's suddenly position.
And then there's CRM. But no, okay, so let's get into some of our trading here today. Oh, we do have a super chat, though, from Descalante87. I apologize if I butchered that. Love how much Joe has grown. Appreciate that. His first week, he kept making this high voice, or maybe I don't appreciate that so much, but let me know what is it. Was that it right there? Anyways, no, bro, found his stride. You're my boy,
what's up, dude?
Joe. I appreciate it, man. All love here. We'll hit the stone cold for that one. See, the thing is, though, I'm going to be honest here, as I typically am, right, Obi? And this is one of my sayings. So I felt that the stone cold was one of the hotter animations for quite some time. That's me, completely subjective. Then Sean comes in with the I get money.
I like that one. Yeah, that one's good.
You know what I mean? It's Trump. So now I'm like, man, is it even worth it to hit the stone cold? I think this is the best part is when we go like this.
I want to put in a request for, I already told you what I want. I told
Fabian about that.
Yeah, I want that one. The You don't even have to say anything. You just gotta laugh. Slap it
Yeah,
off.
you just gotta laugh. But all right, guys. Thank you. That sent you a super chat at the end of the previous stream. Can you please pull it up here? Yeah, absolutely. Let's see what you got going on, and then we'll get into some trading. I don't see it here. Maybe I'll get Assassino to find it for you. We'll see. Oops. I'll pull it up right now. They tagged me, but now my thing doesn't really want to cooperate. Red Devil sent us a super chat.
Devil.
Now, why are you? Oh man, come on, man. Vin, you still on one today? Joey, they're killing the cats. They're killing the dogs. I know, man. They're still eating the cats and the dogs. Devil, Red Devil, we don't see anything from you. Just put it in there.
The previous stream.
You said the previous, but it should still, it should still pop up.
Okay.
I personally didn't see anything either, but all right, guys, enough is enough. Let's get into the market. We've seen some of the trades that Sean and Neil have here. We'll get to this super chat moment. Actually, never mind. We'll get to it right now because we prioritize you guys first.
Come on.
BTCT starting to heat up. Yes, sir. We're going to send it over to Adara momentarily. All right, maybe after that, we'll get to some of our trades here today. Adara, talk to us.
I'll be brief. Just keep an eye here on SK Hynix. Apparently, they've now started building, so they've broken ground on a $4 billion memory facility in the state of Indiana.
Now we can start rocking and rolling. Listen, a bunch of us trading NVDA bright and early this morning, and I think rightfully so. You never heard that one? They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs.
No, I've heard it's raining cats and dogs.
What's that?
I've heard it's raining cats and dogs.
They're eating the pets.
Play it again one more time.
They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets.
Oh, okay.
That was classic. All right, guys. Finally, we're 11 minutes in. I haven't said a word about my trading, but that's all right. We got all day. What's up, my guy, Soto? You're looking fly. Where's the blazer at today, man?
Yo.
All right, man. All right, we love you. All right, guys. Let's see what we got going on here. All right, let's get into the nitty gritty. We'll break things down. Now, attempt number one. So you see right out of this opening auction, things get a little bit hectic. But you just need to remain calm, especially if you do believe your thesis, you have a lot of conviction in behind it. Great report. And what we've experienced from after the bell yesterday is that clearly buyers are engaged, okay? They're looking to grab things up. So what happened was, as soon as it flipped, there was this initial dip right out of the gate. Okay, no problem. We stay calm and cool and collective. We hop in, and then the tape just decided to go rampant. Then I add some more, and then boom, 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 boom. Tape flips up here. I'm like, oh no, that's not good. We get all out. So a nice little start to the session. Same thing again, I get in, but we kept rejecting the volume weighted average price. I'm like, but I still have some conviction within this trade. Even though I did get all out at VWAP, I was like, you know what? I did miss out on one of the larger legs, but I don't think we're done yet. Thanks, Joey Options Fan Club. Stay calm and cool. That's what we do. Keep on and chive on is what one of the old sayings used to be, I believe. Remember that website, yes. Chive? What was it called? Chive On or something?
Chive On?
Was it Chive?
Is it? I don't know.
Anyways.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm not remembering though.
So here's my third attempt. We start small, but the majority of my position is down here. Boom, boom, we take some off, and then I add more into the break of the high of the day. It starts to flip, and I cover aggressively. Now, the exact same narrative. I'm starting small for the break of the high of the day, but we all know that the float is so large, we typically don't get those large and quick, rapid movements through key price levels. And that's exactly what happened. So I start small once again, just to see, at least I'm participating if we do get that break. Now, what we have here is an additional add, but then right at VWAP was that money add for us right here where we had the most amount of size. Small, 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 right into VWAP, boom, boom, boom. And right now we're still currently sitting on some right now. $36 is my average price here on NVDA. We had a high of around $36.97. That's going to correlate with roughly the high of $227. Now listen, I like exactly what Neil was saying here today because I do believe we can identify where Burry is hiding his positions, and I'm being dead serious right now. I could totally be wrong, but I don't believe it's any form of a coincidence that this guy's hedging his positions through some of these larger strike prices, and I'm referring to this $240 strike with 175,000 contracts, and then also this 230 marker that we've been talking about for the past 3 days. 211,000 contracts there, ladies and gentlemen. So that hedge is on, and we talked about the potential gamma squeeze bright and early this morning. A little bit more difficult in such a large market cap name, but things happen, right? Yesterday's price doesn't reflect today's price. Don't forget that. Things can change, and the market is forever changing. I'm done rambling here for a second. We're going to send it over to Adara, and then Obi's got some stuff for us.
I want to talk about Tempest because TEM here making new intraday highs as we speak. This Tempest breakout comes as we had, I guess this was now yesterday, an individual shared a post here about Tempest training an AI model on real cancer patients, and I guess it was able to predict the right cancer treatment, this AI model. Then we had today, as of a couple minutes ago, this individual by the name of Brian Johnson, quote tweeting this post. Now, he founded companies including Braintree, which was then acquired by Venmo. He has 2 million followers on X, and he just posted, I guess, about how cool the study is. So he was a fan of this study, I guess, for Tempest. TEM pushing to the upside on this pseudo endorsement from tech executive and founder Brian Johnson.
All right, thank you very much, Adara. Quick reminder, guys. Trader TV members get Sharif's daily morning research note every trading day. The big market stories, key levels, trade plans, catalysts, and what we're watching into the open. It's only $4.99 a month, and you also get members-only videos, posts, custom emojis, and loyalty badges. Hit join below the video to become a member now. All right, guys. So, I'm curious to know what people are trading. Did you guys hit some PRs on that CRM opening drive trade? That was pretty big. I know a few people who had the strongest of convictions on that 336.
Sorry to interrupt you. Yeah, Jose, him and I. Did he smash it?
I think you can talk to him about what happened there. But yeah, for sure. I think there's great opportunity on that CRM push. In the morning, especially if you kind of understood, why it might be getting a little hyped and bid up pretty aggressively. The whole Anthropic deal is, something you might want to look into. CrowdStrike as well. It's just picking up the whole sector. Softy's running, CrowdStrike's running as well. So let's take a quick look at the software ETF. Now, I think that's IGV. IGV, the iShares, thank you very much, Dara. iShares expanded tech software sector ETF, and very similar chart to that of that CRM right there, all the way from 105 halves on the open, maybe 106s there, all the way up to 109. So pretty decent move. Maybe keeping an eye on this one wouldn't hurt on a day like today, where this whole sector is moving along and things may be pushed along a lot further than you may expect. This is me just talking to myself, being like, all right, well, the uptrend may be trending up for a lot longer than I expect. So 224 here on CrowdStrike. So, I did get involved a little bit earlier on that 224 on the break of this trend. We got all the way down to 221s. I was looking, honestly, for a bit of a VWAP test. Didn't quite get to VWAP. So you know what? It is what it is. Where is the next trade is the question. I covered some, added some back in on the 223s, but now we're just chopping sideways. So bounce off of that 220 pretty much on CrowdStrike, and then 250 CRM. Seems like we're just consolidating at the highs here on CRM, maybe poised for even higher. Can't forget, this is a much bigger picture, kind of a breakout happening weekly, monthly, almost yearly as well. We'll go take a look at the chart in just a second here. I'm just going to take the rest of this off and see if that will take me right there on 224s. It seems like CRM as well about to get knocked out of their through their highs. So 250 70s I think is their highs there on CRM. There we go. So getting out of that CrowdStrike. We're going to trend up off of VWAP. I'm going to be a little bit more patient, maybe wait for that lower high to step in, potentially below that 225 here. Something else you guys might have noticed I am sitting short in is Walmart. Walmart, I had an alert, a little bit of a back burner trade here. Unfortunately, did not size enough or well enough. But you can see they recently had earnings. They got pretty rocked on their earnings report. And I've been keeping this 105 level on watch. I like that 105. $5 above that 100. I want to know what it's going to do with it. I've been watching over the past couple of days. Bit of a bounce here. Cannot get through that 105. Trickling all the way back down. This right here got an alert this morning being like, all right, well, some of these lows from earnings day one are potentially coming in. Guess what happens when that earnings day one low initially gets violated? Boom, a lot of volume all the way down to 102s and then back up to VWAP there as of right now. So we'll wait and see what happens in and around VWAP. Do sellers continue to push a little bit lower? I like the step down. 105s couldn't follow through. This is still very much kind of an earnings follow through play that I'm watching. Can Walmart on the flush? It's digested. It's accepted. We got some price acceptance around 102s, 103s, 105s. But sellers seem to be stepping it down a little bit lower. I want to see, ideally, if I can sit in this, to take inventory into that 100 level if it'll have me. So we'll see if VWAP sellers come in. But that's bigger picture idea. It's likely not going to come in intraday all at once. Walmart's ATR is like $2 or $3. If it's going to get to 100, it'll probably take a few days to get there. So, getting lucky, sitting short on stuff like this is something that I like to do. Watching that bigger picture move come into fruition. Let's see what else is happening here. What else do you guys got going on? CRM base steadily rejecting the high, saying Rob Canton. Yeah, I don't know, man. Listen, I'm sitting short on this too. My stop's pretty tight here near the highs. It seems like we are building into it, bit of a consolidation into the highs. I really want to see that blow off for that capitulation to really get aggressively short. I'm sure I'm getting chopped up, small size here and there. I've taken it about 6 or 7 times. I've tried it short. Arguably, way too many times. I should only be trying it 2 or 3 times. 3 strikes, you're out. But on a day like today, I'm willing to bend the rules a little bit and try a couple more times just to see if I can catch the turn a little bit. But we'll wait and see. No trend breaks just yet. Just consolidation building into the highs. So far, not really much happening. Andrew Koss, OKTA short. Yeah, this one I was watching off of the open, one of the other names that had gapped up on earnings pretty decently, looking for that continuation. Didn't really come in here, but if you were sitting on pre-market lows with a bit of a bid, looking for that continuation, that was defended multiple times here. This is a 3-minute chart, opening range defense, and then defense in the first 15-minute candle once again, holding that 157, 158 level. Now we're consolidating at the highs. I like that. I really like that. Potential for 170 in my eyes definitely goes a little bit higher if we're going to be very, very tight near the highs there. So Mr. Lonely, thank you for the super chat. Where is Sharif? I think Sharif is probably resting right now. He's back from vacation, I think.
He's
he
chilling
was on
out.
A flight yesterday,
Yeah.
so he will be here tomorrow. So you'll see him tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Street be back tomorrow, man. Get ready for some more action there. Red Devil, we're gonna get to you. I have your question right up here, but I'm gonna give a shout out to my boy. It's Frankie. Paisan, Joey, my guy. Thanks for the NVDA help. You are killing it. And I banked. Grazie. Great. Yeah, no, thank you, man. Much love there for my boy Frankie. All right, Red Devil, I want to thank you all for what you do, bro. Everyone here on the team, love trading with you. Also, my question was, VST, up from 135 again. Do you think it can break 168 at this time? Now, listen, I pulled up, and I truly, personally, like I'm gonna be frank with you. I don't know too much about this company, right? I don't know too much about Vistra Corp. Now, what I can give you is some technical analysis, right? So I think from a higher time frame, you can see what's going on. There's some key levels. But don't forget what the possibility of what is happening here. Okay, let's make this a little bit bigger. You talk about the 3 phases of the market, right? Like whether it be accumulation, distribution, whatever phase you do believe that your stock is in. If it's at the lower end, it could be accumulation, public participation, and at the end you have distribution, so on and so forth. That doesn't matter. Do you think on what's going on here within this range between 167 and 138 that there could be a participant buying this thing up? Now, if I do a little bit of a dig into the earnings report, and what I would specifically look for is what is the trajectory that the revenue, the EPS, how do the forecasts look like within this name specifically, is where I would determine, hey, is this worth grabbing some at these levels. And if it breaks through the support, you know what? If you really like the fundamentals, always keep your stop in place. Always think about your out and have that in the back of your mind. But what is funny is, in my opinion, again, this is completely subjective. Whatever you do, you do. But this is how I would look at it. If you like the fundamentals and it breaks down, well, guess what? You get it at a cheaper valuation, which in yesterday's scenario, in which Obi was talking about yesterday, you guys seen me in the chat. I'm hella long NVDA. The best case scenario for me is that it sells off on that earning report, which it did, and guess what? I get to buy it at a cheaper valuation, okay? Because whoever's selling it, there's someone buying it on the other side, on the other end of things. So if someone's gonna sell off this company for whatever reason it may be, I'm going to look to be buying. I'll gladly take up some of your shares, all right? So that's how I would look at it, and that's how I would look into Vistra and this company. If you truly believe in what they're doing, what they stand for, at cheaper prices is when you really want to dive in, and then sure enough, always keep your out. Make sure you keep those stop losses in place and risk measures. Otherwise, if it keeps selling, we know what we say. The market can remain irrational a bit longer than you can say solvent, but personally, a little bit here, a little bit there. Don't forget, if you're going to be buying in tranches, you don't go all in all at once, all right? That's just a big mistake. I'm still making, I just wanted to get better. Yeah, of course, I grow. That's good. That's what it's all about, man. Just keep working, I grow fighting, and sure enough, like, it's the same thing for me, and I think Obi can agree with this as well. And we're not going to talk figures, but it's like, you just want it to be bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger every time. It's unfortunately the human nature. It's never really enough, and in this game especially. So, yeah, that's where I stand. That's the camp that I'll remain in until otherwise. And again, completely subjective material. So, yeah, other than that, Obi, CRM looks like it's starting to come back in for you. That was such a cash out break, man. I was messaging Jose bright and early this morning, and I was too focused on NVDA, but look what it gives you. I had this run, I sent it to him, 228 all the way up to 250. Like, yeah, what the hell? That was crazy.
Wild, man.
Crazy.
I think, like, we were talking about the weekly chart, the daily chart. Like, what is happening here? Let's take a quick look at this and really talk about what happened today. Why is it somewhat similar to, like, technically to some of the stuff we've been seeing? Sure, it's not exactly the same, but you know, we've been seeing these you know, multi-month, multi-week breakouts here, and another one today on CRM. This is similar to that of kind of DKS, just flip the chart upside down, in my opinion. Sure, I understand, you know, you can't really compare the fundamentals and the changing, whatever. Chart looks good, man. I think that's, you know, I don't like to complicate it too much. Multi-day, multi-week breakout all along. A lot of the longs that have been accumulating on this thing, definitely in the money here, and a lot of shorts that we know, you know, the software trade was getting beaten down. A lot of shorts definitely sitting on some of these names here, really thinking that it's over for SaaS, right? So a lot of those guys are getting slapped up off of the open on something like a CRM today, and you can see aggressive push happening. So yeah, what was that level? 212s. You can see here prior highs, 234s, 235s as well. That was that January high. So yeah, another iteration of, hey, look, we're gonna break out of highs on the year and push even harder. That's kind of what ANF did yesterday. Technically speaking, pretty much exactly the same thing that ANF did, break out of yearly highs. So we talk about how daily breakouts and weekly breakouts and monthly breakouts are some of the best momentum trades to be had intraday, bar none. This is a perfect example of one of those to the upside here on CRM. So don't forget it. Next time this happens, you know what you should be doing. I definitely, this is more of a lesson to myself than anyone else. Like, I should be getting the long 135s, but I'm thinking, like, I'm watching this thing really slap up. And
dude, look at this.
Started watching it at 137s.
228. Dude, look at what time.
No, I see the trend break. It's perfect, right?
Dude, look what time I sent this to Jose at. 9:07 in the morning.
Yeah, perfect.
That was a trade.
So this is what Joe's looking at right here. Boom,
9:07.
a bit of a trend break right there, coming into the open, almost perfect, absolutely perfect there, dipping into some of those pullbacks. So yeah, one for the books. We keep getting these earnings reports that are just getting blown out of the water one way or the other, to the upside or to the downside, and it's absolutely beautiful. If you're trading trend, I'm just thinking about like, okay, what are the trend trading and trend following playbooks that I have that I can bring out? All right, Fabian.
Oh, Fabian, yeah,
if you guys don't know,
tomorrow is the big day, man.
Tomorrow is the big day. Thank you very much to Fabian, who's going to chop a whole 28 inches of those luscious locks. Tomorrow, shave them off and donate them to charity. So I think we're goal of 10,000. We got all the way to 6.8, guys. So almost there. Don't forget, you got to scan the QR code to specifically donate to the charity. If you do it through YouTube, it's going to be different because it's going through YouTube. If you want to do directly to the charity, QR code, or there is a link in the description and in the chat as well. Right now, here we go. Let's do it together. I'm going to pull up the chat and show you guys where that link is if you guys are interested. Nice little CRM pullback view on the side there of the chat. Boom, boom, boom. Slap it in right there, breaking that support, 247s. Let's go. All right, so this right here, this is what we're looking at. Click on that right there, charity, GoFundMe, boom. There it is, cutting 28 inches live for Angel Hair for Kids by August 28th.
Yeah.
And that right there is a picture of Fabian. So
it is Fabian.
Donate to a good cause, guys.
Tomorrow, man.
Yeah, I'll be here.
It's a big day.
I won't be here, but I'll be here.
Well, you could be here, man. What do you mean? You obviously hop
in the building.
Be in the house, that's for sure.
I'll be in the
Do they have a price target exit for NVDA? Just do I personally? No, now we're just riding the wave, man, to be honest with you. Hey, anytime. Anytime, Louise. Well, we'll see what's going on. Maybe we'll get you on a little bit more. But all right, guys, you know what time it is. It's 11:30, your favorite segment of the day. We're going to send it over to Juan and Adara.
The European market closed as of 2 minutes ago. Here to take us through what the different European markets, the different countries' markets did during that session is Juan.
Thank you, Dara. So, central bank anxiety pushing European markets lower today, overshadowing that of Nvidia's tech gains. So, we see the Stoxx Euro 600 down by nearly 0.8%, down because of energy input drags as well as of France. Definitely a huge pullback, offsetting that of tech gains. In Germany, the only sector that was in the green. Tech stocks, of course, leading the gains after Nvidia's earnings helped strengthen that of AI optimism. We see Infineon up by 4%. SAP also rose about 5.5%. Rainmetal also gained about 3%. Meanwhile, ECB meeting accounts have signaled a potential rate cut for September, noting that upside inflation as well as geopolitical concerns. Now, investors remain cautious ahead of Jackson Hole Symposium, where Fed Chair Kevin Walsh will be speaking tomorrow on Friday. Now, the CAC 40, France, their lowest level for this month. We see Paris hit by lots of luxury laggards, with Louis Vuitton, L'Oreal, Kering all dropping more than 1%, while ST Microelectronics jumped by 3.6%, following, of course, strong NVIDIA Q2 results. Now, focus will also be put on Friday's Fitch rating review, following last year's downgrade to A+. Over in the United Kingdom, the FTSE 100 also down by 0.8%. Weak commodity stocks dragging the index down. We saw Shell and BP falling more than 1.5% as oil prices fell for fourth consecutive session. On the corporate front, Prudential, they were also down by 2.5% despite reporting a first half profit growth in their earnings. Other banking stocks also lagged, with both Barclays and HSBC down by 1%. Now, main story for the European region, Nvidia boosting that of chip equipment makers. A lot of boost in global AI sentiment. It lifted European semis such as ASML and BE Semiconductor, despite the broader market weakness. Now, Jackson Hole will be in focus for tomorrow, markets will be awaiting the opening speech by Kevin Warsh. Any hawkish higher for longer rate signaling could drive out bond yields as well as pressure that of growth stocks. Up to you, Adara.
And CNN reporting here that Lucid is apparently been purchased by U.S. President Trump. So LCID to the upside, then dropping as CNN reports that U.S. President Donald Trump has initiated a long position in the stock. Now, for what it's worth, President Trump has been very vocally critical of CNN. So I suspect if this report is incorrect, we are going to hear about it, and fast.
This guy's,
oh my God,
he's actually made more trades than me.
All right, so I guess
what are you going to do with this?
I mean, bro, think about it. The presidential seal trade. Is this not another iteration of one of those?
Of the Intel kind of thing, or,
anything that he's kind of called out, right?
Yeah, I agree.
I gotta look into it. This is still fresh.
Yeah, but think about it. So it's from a filing.
Okay,
so think about how
mentioned it.
I also, again, given his distrust for CNN, I suspect if this is wrong, even if it's right, he'll probably still hop on it. So be really aware of that. I think if it was a different outlet, we might have a different reaction. But the man has said not the most glowing of comments about this outlet, and I do think that matters here, given the type of person he is.
And think about how, like, if that's coming out now, he was already in the position before. Like, that's not him, but it's just
exactly.
So you're his exit liquidity, pretty much at this point, right? Like, you get the participation. Like, if you go through it, the guy's made over 1,000 trades last month. That's crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Anyway, like, bro, don't you have other things to do? Like, I don't know. But hey, I guess it's great for the market. It has been great for the market. It's been great for us.
I think it's good to ride the hype. Yeah.
You punch long 520. Katina Man's long 520.
I'm looking for a similar kind of trade here, Sean.
LCID. Let's go 520s here. We're now 30. Woohoo. Let's go. Let's see if it's gonna break through, man. This volume. Oh, nice. Yes, sir. Suit them off. 520. This is where Katina Man's long at, ladies and gentlemen. Oracle $2. Oracle $2. We're at a boy. What's better than insider trading? Nothing. Nothing at the end of the day, right? Strong form. Efficient market hypothesis. Strong form, man. Pure insider information. You know he's not doing it. Of course he's not. He's not writing anything. He's not writing his truths. He's not doing any of that stuff.
I did. What do you mean? Yeah.
You're in long too. There they go. Uh-oh. There it is. Pull it up. Go over to their screen. Never mind mine. I'm in NVDA. There goes Obi as well too. Oh, and he adds into the strength too. That's crazy.
Bang.
That's crazy at the high of the day. Oh, Donald.
Hey, yo.
Attaboy. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Obi.
Uh-oh.
Head over to put it on Obi's chart. Never mind our
face and see what he's got going.
Yeah, it's going. It's going. Look at it go.
Here live.
Okay, you got to think of a target.
Trader TV. So we'll see. Very, very quickly there too. Yeah, boom. Right at 11:30, we get that strength coming in. Let's look at this on a 1 minute right here. Let's see if it can sustain and hold some of this bid. We know that recently it's got a little bit of some volume as well. So we'll see if there is any bit of a sustain on this bid. Fresh news, it's a beaten down stock. I understand. I think you do have to borrow shares for this one, but it's got a bit of a presidential bid as of right now. So we'll see if there is any sort of follow through on this one. I like it. I like that it's above the $5 level. That's pretty. I think $5 may or may not be a bit of an important area when it comes to stonks. So I like that it held that $5 level as well.
Are you short NVDA now too?
Boom, short NVDA.
All right, my guy.
From Sean, nice.
Good cooking up there. Yeah, he's cooking up a storm here today. Good luck on that Lucid trade there, Obi. Let's see if that continues for you. Other than that, man, we've been rocking and rolling. We went over our trades. One name that we've been trading here today, and it's, thanks to Nimrud himself, giving us all those super chats. Boom, off to the races. We're just, churning shares on this bad boy. This has definitely been one of our better legs on the intraday session. The initial one pretty good as well too. So we're not going to complain whatsoever, but nice solid momentum here in LCID. Two strong volume prints. Now you want to see it continue. But let's keep an eye out on this volume print here on the 1 minute time frame. As you get into more of the nitty gritty and the detail, you see how we punch into 560s, and now we're starting to come back in. So an engulfing print here in regards to the volume signature. Now, who knows if this volume you want to see that next wave of participants step in order for us to continue on this path. Now, I really want to add some more because I do believe that 230s is definitely in the works, but you see how choppy this name has been, and NVDA is which I'm referring to.
Oh boy.
Throughout the intraday session. It's because you just have that constant downward pressure of people trying to short this for whatever reason. I don't know if you're not, like, I guess your thesis has to be based off of a bubble at this point because the numbers are absolutely outstanding. And they're going to continue to be, like, these guys in a matter of no time are going to be printing $100 billion a quarter, in my opinion. So if they're pretty much there right now. David Myers, thank you for your donation. You rocked. Yes, sir. Yes, he does. $277. Man, you've been raking this thing up here, Fabian. Thank you very much for doing all of that stuff. So going to an absolute great cause, and I mean, it takes a real genuine individual to do that stuff. So, and everyone in the chat who's donated just shows kind of, I mean, the good side of things, I think, Obi. So thank you all once again, and make sure you join us tomorrow, especially if you donated, where Fabian actually chops the hair off, right? You kind of want to see.
Do we know what time that's happening? Do we know around what time?
Yeah, that's up to Fabian, really. He's the guy. He's the guy getting his hair
closer to the afternoon. Yeah, closer to the end of the day.
Closer to the end of the day there. Let the
so tune in the afternoon show tomorrow to see that, guys. Fabian. Is it actually 28 inches, or has it grown longer since you?
Yeah, it has to, man.
It's a little longer than that. But yeah, I was thinking we could probably cut it around the beginning, maybe, of the second stream or of the afternoon stream, around like past 2 o'clock.
Yeah, when everybody kind of starts rolling back in. Yeah.
3 p.m. Yeah.
Okay.
I like that.
Right.
I think that's perfect.
Hour.
No, leave it to the end of the day. You know, give me more time with these locks.
Yeah, for sure. It gives you guys time to hit that goal.
Pump
of
up
that
those numbers.
10K. We're almost there. We're at like what? Last time we checked, we were at like 6.7. No, wait, 6.8.
Come on, dude.
6.8.
How old are you?
6.8. There was sevens in there. There's 2 sevens in there. 6.877. Come on, there's more sevens than there is an 8. So yeah, no, nice, good stuff, guys. Almost there.
Yeah, it's actually shocking how much it's come together.
Yeah,
thanks to you guys. Best chat out there. You know?
Yeah, best 100%, man. Questions keep rolling in. They're like, Joe, where did your hair get donated to? I'm like, the market, man. Like, what do you guys think? What do you think this is around here? Yeah, it's the market, man. Straight donations to the market here. Nadeem, yeah, hey man, don't miss it. But hey, we're rocking and rolling here today. How's that Salesforce? I got IBIT up here. CrowdStrike starting to come back in a little bit here as well too. OB market pretty choppy today. Doesn't really seem to care that NVDA and CrowdStrike and Salesforce are up. Obviously, just not as a collective unit, not heavily weighted. But things are starting to turn around here. 7%. Google pretty choppy this morning, and Meta at one point was up 1% plus. Now negative on the day. Oh wow, it went up to 588. Okay, I didn't even see that. I wasn't even paying attention. There's so much more going on, but I really like what's going on here with Meta. I'm going to be buying some more of this stuff. Without any shadow of a doubt, just keep adding and bump up, buy more. Oh, sell off a little bit to the 400s. Perfect. That's exactly when I want to. High 400s, I should say, is when I would like to get involved. But let's look at the apes here. We'll call them the memory names. So Sandisk down 2%, Western Digital down 3%, Micron down 3% as well, to Seagate down 1%, and DRAM down about 1/3%. But again, it's kind of the same thing that would happen, in my opinion, in regards to Salesforce. Is it
CRM is getting absolutely blasted right now.
Is it? Okay, nice,
I mean,
man.
Structure breakdown. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, go ahead, man.
Like,
go ahead.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's way more important.
It just teleported a couple dollars, and I'm like, all right, that's a little bit faster than we were moving around earlier. I mean, especially if you're looking at some second charts, that you can definitely see the distinct difference in some of the selling that's coming in now. 48s. That was a nice little push in. VWAP's all the way down here at 43s and some change. This was interesting to me. 44s was defended on the offer for a little bit before we broke through it pretty decently. I mean, I honestly got involved on one of my initial shorts off of that size, so that was a bit of an interesting level. Let's see if that resistance now turns into support here on the day on CRM. But yeah, a little bit of a flush coming in. Finally, some relief. That aggressive buying back to back. Green candles here. Majority of these, once it does start to slow down, still green, and finally catching a bit of a breather. Failure to follow through of that 250. Me and my buddies, we were talking about it. We were like, all right, well, maybe we get the reversion off of failure to follow through of 250. And I was like, yeah, maybe. And I gave it a couple shots, and I was willing to give it some more as well. But unfortunately, talking through some of that consolidation, missed on some of the ads I should be getting here on the 248 for the secondary leg, lower towards VWAP here. So let's see if we can make that trek all the way to the downside. CRM, absolutely solid earnings today, and more of a hype on their association with Anthropic than anything, in my opinion, and a lot of buying pressure potentially coming in from a lot of the people who are sitting short, betting against the whole software sector and trade. You can see this is not just a bid on CRM today. If we look at IGV here, the software ETF, similar kind of a story where, looking at the weekly, we're probably pushing past some prior levels with that software bid that had already been coming in to the market. We talked about, I think, INTU as well. INTU, another name that was beaten down pretty aggressively, but over the past couple of months has seen a bit of a recovery, over about 45% recovery in the past 60 days on INTU. Let's take a look at some of our other software friends as well. I guess Oracle, does that fall here? Oracle is kind of a story on its own. Funny enough, look at that. All of this TA on Oracle. Absolutely beautiful short, by the way, back through that 200. Trending below, you can see a lot of these anchored VWAPs. Shout out to Mr. Brian Shannon, right there. A lot of these anchored VWAPs tied to events that were significant from 2024, from 2025, and then the stock starts to use all of those anchors as resistance, making that lower high. That was a bit of an oh boy moment indeed. And of course, their fundamentals falling apart a little bit at the same time definitely does not help and adds more fuel to that fire already. So good look there on what do you call it, on Oracle. But yeah, let me know any other software names. I know CrowdStrike, I guess, another software name for the earnings today, very similar to that of CRM in terms of action. There, 245 we're trading below, guys. Okay, all right, okay, cool. 245, let's see if we can get a little bit lower. Where's that VWAP? 243.27s I have on one of my charts here. So we'll see if that one can potentially come into fruition here. Seems like Lucid is not really working for me too much. Should I really be sticking around? If I have to ask the question, I should probably just get out and be like, all right, I'll take the hit on that. That should have gone through that 550 right away. The fact that we're just chilling on top of the quarter, on top of 5, I'm like, maybe even if we were poised to go higher on this news, maybe I overhyped it too much for myself, where I was like, oh no, it's presidential trade, blah blah blah. But Joe was astute enough to point out that hey, it's only a report of the filing. He didn't actually say anything. So thank you very much for that. That definitely does kind of kill the hype around it in my mind a bit. So was looking for that bit of follow through, not really getting that, but we are getting that follow through on CRM. What's going on?
Don't be his exit liquidity, man.
Yeah, exactly. Don't be buddy's exit liquidity. No. I highly doubt he's going to be like, oh, we're going to sell to the PR, but on a Lucid position, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I'd eat it.
Who knows though? Who knows?
It's two legends.
245, bit of a hold here on that 245. Let's see if we can continue to trade a bit lower. We are definitely in a bit of a downtrend now on CRM. Is it time? It definitely is for the reversion.
Oh, yeah.
I think so.
I think it's already been kind of cooking up here.
Exactly. I've been involved.
That's good, man.
Nice. I mean, maybe arguably a little bit too much involved on the front side, but the right side is coming in. And Luis mentioned this yesterday as well.
Yeah.
Like Luis mentioned this yesterday as well.
Yeah.
Like yes, he's 100% correct when it comes to some of the mean reversion on the large caps as well. Being like, all right, cool. Sometimes you got to get chopped up a little bit and try over and over again. And sometimes when you are doing that, the higher it goes, you got to be sizing up more. And it's, sometimes holding for longer for the move to actually come in. And you can see that's exactly what I pretty much did here on CRM, keeping it tight. Initially, I was really, really light on top of 140. Unfortunately, didn't mean to give it a whole $3 to $4, but it swiped up, and I was like, oh boy, that's a bigger loss than I expected, but it's all good. And then I really started to build in underneath that 244, because that's where a bit of a seller starts to show up, slams start coming in, and it can't really get above. So I'm like, all right, I can risk against that. So I tried that a couple times before that broke out as well. And I'm just like, okay, dude, what are you doing? This is very, very strong on the day. It's just squeeze, sector, Anthropic, greater earnings, directionality of hyped tickers on good earnings as of recent moves. So taking that into consideration as well. All other factors equalized, like what have good earnings names that are breaking out on the weekly, daily, monthly, multi-time frame levels. What have they been doing? They have been showing extreme direction on some of their trends.
All right, Obi, let's see what we got. Let's see what we got going on here, brother. We're gonna post up at the TQQs here because we're getting a little bit of a rebound in this market. I'm not going to chase it north of the volume-weighted average price, but let's see what we got here. We're still in this NVDA trade. You got the short going on there. You're all at a Lucid. I think that was a pretty good idea. Some of the signals that were being displayed was just like, all right, that's it. You had the high of the day break. Maybe that was just like that punch through, and then you get out.
False broke. I'm 100% sure. Buddies were sitting there on the other side, 550, being like, all right, if this fails, we're slamming it back in. Like I would, like if I'm not long, I'm taking that trade as well. So
I feel you on that. So here it is, right? Like let's go. We got this break up now. Now this is exactly what I'm looking for, Gore. But I haven't seen you in the chat today, Los Polios. This is a pretty good print here, exactly where we're looking for. So I'll go relatively light size to start, and if we get this pullback to 72.15s, in which I believe is where I posted up at, no 20s. So that'd be a 20-cent pullback. I think that is completely reasonable. Now we've been chopping, accumulating here on NVDA. I do believe we're going to make that push to 229. Anything can happen. I'm going to add some more into this position, the NVDA one that is, before we send it over to Adara. Are we expecting memory and photonic stocks to rebound today or sell off more? Great question. We'll get back to that. Thank you very much for the super chat. We'll get back to that momentarily.
Down on Uber here, climbing a little bit. It did have a bit of a volume spike, nothing too crazy, but Uber CFO saying that one big step closer to a fully autonomous deployment. So Uber is saying that it's closer to fully autonomous cybercab deployment.
All right, thank you very much for that, Sia. Yeah, I mean, it's a good one. But hey, he caught $5 or so on that. I'm looking at Bitcoin, and I know we haven't been talking about the crypto space this much. Oh, okay, are we expecting memory and photonic stocks to rebound today or sell off more? I mean, I think that's a pretty good question. Just listen to what the price action is telling you, and where can money potentially be funneling into? Right? If you ask me, it's like, okay, we got NVDA rocking and rolling up 7%. We have Salesforce up substantially as well, too. I think around 20%, maybe a little bit less at this point, 15%, and then CrowdStrike. So you're seeing a rotation. And when you have strong rotations like that, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to find a rebound from an intraday standpoint. And then also, what are the higher time frames telling you? When I'm looking at Western Digital here, I don't see any form of a rebound. Now, if you're looking to get involved in some of these memory names, a break of this 415 level, I think that's a pretty attractive area to get in, to start dabbling in some. I wouldn't be just yet, but that's all right. Missed this NASDAQ trade here with that signal. Gaurav, I haven't seen you in the chat. Los Polio, same thing as we go and head towards the high of the day, Obi. Now we're only a couple of pennies away from the high of the day. Once again, 227 on NVDA. It's just been a range trade throughout the intraday session, and I think it's ideal to try and just play that. Unfortunately, we didn't add any more, but hey, if it breaks then and holds and sustains, then I think there could be a good opportunity for us to climb a couple points higher.
Yeah, I'm seeing here, this is actually, like CRM is actually bouncing off of its 15-minute VWAP here as of right now. So I do have to be wary of that. That low of the bar, 243.70. So we did bounce off of that, and I honestly was looking for a bit of a reversion into VWAP. So I'm going to start taking some off here. On my other chart, I have it here at 243.30. I understand a little bit arbitrary, but 250 reject. I like that. I'll take it. 245s, $5 pullback. All right, cool. Where is the next trade? We take those. We definitely take a little piece off of those right there. It is overextended a little bit by my definition, and I understand day one aggressive strength, very much so. But sometimes too far, too fast is very much a thing, and you get a little bit of that rubber band action right there. Kishore, thank you very much for your super chat there. Thank you for your donation.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Yeah,
so,
thank you very
this
much.
Walmart,
Yeah.
I think I took off a decent chunk of this Walmart right here. As it's not really coming back, man. Like I think I should have taken some more off earlier on this flush into 102.27s. Funny enough, I still have an order sitting at 102.25s. You know what the low was, Joe? 102.27. So GG's. Comes all the way back up, 75 pennies back towards my entry. Not the best.
Did you take some?
I didn't take any. No, I was sitting. I had layered a bunch of orders around 102. So I was sitting on 102, 102.15s, 102.20s, and I think 102.25s. I think, and maybe some in 101.80s as well. Let me just check. Yeah, no, 102s and above. So that's where I'm sitting there. Didn't really come in at all, so I took most of it off right here. Where is the chart, you may ask? Let me pull that up. Walmart now trades on the NASDAQ. So yeah, right there, boom. Taking some off there. I'll put it back on if we trade, if we hold below this VWAP area, if we get back below and start to trend a little bit lower, that's fine, but I don't want to give it all the way back. So we'll wait and see. All right, Yost, thank you for the super chat saying no question, just shout out for the great coverage during the Nvidia earnings announcement. Thank you so much. You guys saved me a bunch of money during the first 5 minutes of the fake out. Thank you for joining us as well on that earnings report as well, and the after show. So that was a lot of fun yesterday as well. I was sitting here while everyone was doing the round table, and it was good. Earnings report was good, but later on as well, that dip got bought up pretty aggressively. So that was nice to see at the same time.
Man, I have a headache, and this constant jackhammering. Jackhammering is paying no good to it whatsoever. All right, yeah, Gaurav, I think our next game plan here, so it's a pretty strong engulfing print. Like, I mean, you look at the TQs in the NASDAQ, and you have about 45 minutes of selling 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. 40 minutes of selling, and then in one 5-minute print, it's just engulfing this whole range. And one thing that we can kind of confirm with this to see if we can classify this as genuine or somewhat of an anomaly is the fact that the volume is there. It's nothing crazy. So when it comes to effort and result, I would like to see a little bit more volume, but on a session like today, I'm not going to go against it, right? Like, so if we decide that we want to break, NVDA wants to go towards the high of the day, I'm all for it, all right? So not to, and this is going to be the issue. I don't know if we're going to catch this fill here today. TQQ, let's head over there and see what we got going on. See, this is a stretch, man. I wasn't going to chase it, but I mean, when did we post up? Like, right when it was at 11.50, and then sure enough decides to go on this run here, which is kind of crazy. But hey, missed op there. There's going to be plenty of more throughout today's session, but what there's going to be plenty of more of what's happening now, and Neil's lesson of the day.
Let's take a look at what the markets are doing at the moment. You have the SPY that's up well over 0.5%, the triple Q's up 8%, and the Dow is up 0.30%. Let's take a look at what's happening now here. So XSW, I know you might not see a major can't see something major here on my screen, but the State Street Spider S&P Software and Services ETF has now hit an all-time high today, surpassing its prior high from 9th of December 2024. So if the fund ends the session above the 205 mark, it will notch a new closing high. Currently, it's trading around $209.80, and the ticker is also on pace for its 5th straight weekly gain since September of 2025. That's all for an update at the moment, but let's head back. Before we head back, let's go to Neil for his lesson of the day.
That's not me. That's me. What's up? You know what? I was hearing Obi say something, and I was talking to another trader about, the martingale strategy. Obi knows it. If you haven't heard of this, so like the martingale strategy is like a roulette thing. Now, roulette's not exactly, it's not a 50-50 proposition because you've got the 0 to 00, so you're really not getting a 50-50 if you go red or black. But the principle effectively runs down to, right, like say you're getting a 2-to-1 and it's a 50-50 bet. If you put $5 down, you win, you make your money, great. If you lose, you're down $5. You bet 10 the next time, right? If you lose again, you bet 20. You just keep doubling your bet, and eventually, once you do win, you'll be up your original amount. Like you're going to be up a small amount. You're just going to be getting back to where you started with that one win. Obviously, you're piling up larger and larger losses, but because you're betting incrementally more each time, eventually when it does work in your favor, you get that win. And the idea of the martingale, as long as your bankroll is big enough, infinitely so relative to the amount that you're betting, you can always win out. So when I heard Obi saying when you're playing a reversion or even any kind of a move that is starting to extend, you have more opportunity the crazier the move gets if you're reverting. Right? Like the more it expands the range, the more reversion is going to be good. It's very important when you're looking at something like that to not just start martingaling it. You have to make sure that what you are doing is still structured. And if you're going to take every single good-looking entry on a stock against the trend or whatever, it has to actually make sense in its own right. Now, to each their own. I will be the first to admit, like when I was dip buying, you saw me, I dip bought twice in DRAM and would have done so a third time if it took out that low. Again, to each their own. I did not take any more shares here than I did there. What I did do is average up when it looked better. So the only time for me that I had more shares here than I did there is because the average up made some sense to me. I saw the buyers starting to come in at that first kind of resistance spot in here. I'm like, wait a minute, that's a tight exit. Let's add to this position because there's a pretty key level and I like the momentum in there. Not just because, the first trade didn't work, I'm gonna put more in on the second one. There needs to be an actual solid reason that fits your profile, that fits your risk parameters, that fits your proven trading strategies, that justifies you putting more into it. Not just, if I got in X, if I go 2X now, I don't need it to go as far to get my money back. It's a dangerous way to play the game. And the reason why it's so dangerous, if you martingale something, when you pay out, you'll win, but you pay out small. If you run out of bankroll martingaling, you get absolutely destroyed. That's why you'll always hear me try to talk about risk to reward a little bit, because it does matter how much you're willing to lose before you make something. Just one more thing that I wanted to add into this, and this just goes from like anybody. This is how trading is. Nvidia relatively flat for me today because the breakout trade didn't work. It then did the false break of the volume, or not the volume weighted price, the false break of the low. And this was also an average up. Again, it false broke the low. We added on the way upside, took some out in front of VWAP. Then we got the high, and then that was it for me. At that point, this thing has gotten choppy. Probably should have looked at a VWAP long. This one didn't really get there. That one actually made some sense. But that's fine. I can accept that. The breakout didn't work. We got a good dip buy in there to get our money back. But sometimes your day is going to do this to you. I've traded Moderna 5 times. twice today, and then once each of the last 3 days. And it had always gone perfect for me. And so one of the things that you don't want to do if things are going well is change the profile of your trades. I took breakout long trades, and then the short trades have effectively been short VWAP when it presents a high, when it presents an out. Now, in this particular case, I was like, okay, when it loses the volume weighted average price, short, but all I was doing was I was giving the out to the prior support level. Not because it showed me a topping tail candle. Remember yesterday, it showed this topping tail, so when I was shorting under VWAP, I already knew where the out was because they established the resistance. And then that just doubled down on the resistance, it broke VWAP, broke trend, like all that kind of stuff. In this particular case, I was just shorting under VWAP and then giving it to the prior day low instead of what the market was telling me. So long and short of it is, yeah, I had the direction right again on Moderna, but I changed my execution profile from what had worked the day before. And this is like, well, every time I traded Moderna this week, we'd had a win. And then today I changed the execution profile because I wanted to open the stop up a little bit to hold it longer. And all that did is make it less precise because I wouldn't have actually had an entry until after this move. So it's after the first time we got out. And if I'm really patient about it, then all of a sudden, I'm going to allow it to show me the lower high because the out should now be 146. And therefore, I can take the VWAP short, give it to 46. That's $2. There's the 1-to-1. There's the reload, 1-to-1, and then you get the extended move. Everything that you do in trading should be about positive expectancy or killing this fly. Forget about killing the fly. We'll get them. Everything you should do is about positive expectancy. But that's not just, I trade this stock, I expect to win. It is, I am looking for this setup, this trade, and that execution pattern gets me profits. So if you have something that works, you don't flip it up to like, oh, I'm gonna change the way that I pick my stops on this, despite the fact that we had 3 or 4 in a row that worked before. No, stick to the pattern that works for you. And you know what? If there wasn't an obvious setup that had formed on Moderna and it went down and I don't make a trade all day, that's perfectly fine. But what you can't do is take what had worked yesterday and completely ignore it for a different setup on the stock. Not that I've never done that setup. I've done that setup plenty of times, usually on an Intel back in the day. But this doesn't apply to Moderna. And I tried to apply it somewhere else. It ended up being a mistake. And it's the blemish on what was a good day. That said, I wanted to just one quick update here I wanted to give. Because I left you guys with a little something. And again, this has nothing to do with the lesson of the day. Meta is starting to break higher, and the thing that surprised me, because it held that 570 floor, was Snapchat. I had said I wanted to short Snap when Meta rolled over. The profile's completely different now. Snap is blasting higher, and my thought was if Meta rolled over, there'd be a flat bottom break to play into 5. This is a completely different trade now. Now it's waiting for some kind of a reversion, which is all the way up at 565. So I don't know if this is going to be a trade. Something's got under the skin of Snapchat. Maybe it's just the market or it's just down too low. Whatever it is, I'm going to stay away from that one. I'm going to give you guys a lunch grade, which is going to be pretty solid. It was barbecue chicken with like sticky rice. I haven't had the vegetables yet because I crushed the chicken in like 5 minutes, but it is delicious. Great lunch. And of course, it is topped off, and thank you, Adara, for the apple fritter. Because CrowdStrike is the gift that keeps on giving. It's gifting you in your accounts. It's gifting you outsized moves that get us an apple fritter, so I'm pretty happy about that. As we throw back over to the midday, be careful with that martingale style strategy. Make sure that if you are taking more shares, again, the same trade, doesn't work here, I'm going to take it again there, and you're going to take more. Make sure it's because you have a valid execution or reason to do so, risk to reward or proven strategy, and you're not just martingaling it. Because martingaling, it's a great theory in practice at roulette, but in the stock market, that can get you a world of hurt. Back to the midday.
Thank you very much there, Neil, for a great lesson of the day. Guys, VinFast reported a strong Q2 momentum, delivering more than 70,000 EVs globally. That's up 96% year over year. First half deliveries reached nearly 129,000 vehicles, up 78%, reinforcing the company's growth trajectory across its expanding EV portfolio. By mid-year, VinFast had already achieved approximately 43% of both its 2026 four-wheel and two-wheel delivery targets, putting the company firmly on track across both growth engines. All right, so let's see what is going on here. I asked you guys, what is going on? Where is the next trade? And a few of you mentioned a couple of names. So let's get to them and let's see what's going on. Because I'm honestly looking for the next trade. I'm not itching, but I'm definitely asking for where everyone's kind of looking right now. We'll take a look at this. So Salesforce, I covered most if not everything, looking for a potential to kind of add back in for a continuation to the downside, but beautiful kind of a reversion on the break. Failure to follow through of that 250 really kind of brings it in, and then you get a crack of that trend, and then floodwaters are imminent there, all the way to the downside. Boom, 224 within the span of, we'll say, on the break of that trend, within the span of roughly 24, 25 minutes, we were all the way back down at VWAP. So that is that. You know what? I'll take off the rest of it right here. Boom. Don't need to be involved in this one if we're gonna curl nicely like that. Yeah, I'll look
nice
for a lower
there
high.
On 5 minute. Oh no.
Yeah,
what is that,
right.
5 minutes?
This is a
Or
3 minute.
Yeah,
This is a
that's
3
a nice print. Oh man,
It's much stronger. That signal is much stronger on a 5 minute than it is on a 3 minute.
It has, like, think about it, and again, if you go up the time frame,
Yeah, the
I think
stronger
that's
it becomes.
exactly.
That's just always the case. Yeah.
Very well said. But what's working for us right now, ladies and gentlemen, is this. I have nothing left compared to what I had before, right? Like, I'm talking about 10% here, roughly. Let's take an additional fill, bro. I got some call options at 223 with the 230 strike and almost lost. Almost in the money. My man, yeah, they call me Big Papa. All right, I like that name. Just be cautious, right? Because I do believe, considering how we've been moving on today's session, it hasn't just been a straight path, right? It hasn't been exponential, just a linear move here in NVDA. Watch out for this, and I've been pounding the table about it. Trapman's been making some cash, but this is where we can run into a potential resistance zone. I talked about us heading into this level earlier and how it affected the earnings report. Now, considering it's not a sheer momentum style play, what happens when you have more of a slow grind is that I think that when you see something of this magnitude, you will have price start to push a little bit lower and lower, all right? So we'll run into 230, and I mentioned it bright and early this morning. If we happen to breach that, and there's a couple of things that you can see in correlation, momentum and volume really start to pick up. How do we identify that? Through the time and sales. Then there could be a 230 break potential play, but then you have that next stage where 175,000 contracts are rocking and rolling. So just be cautious. I'm not saying take the money and run, but just be cautious of what happens around these levels, because we're printing 228 roughly here. We're getting pretty close. So something can happen relatively soon. Maybe not this minute, but NVDA has definitely been pretty good for us here today. Nice call out there, Obi, on the CRM. Did that signal display itself on the 5? Yeah, it is on the 5, right below.
As well,
yeah, right on the. So when you see something kind of across multiple time frames, give you a little bit more conviction within that setup, and a better $1.50 pop, a little bit more than that there, Obi. So not too bad. The NASDAQ and the SPY still relatively choppy. The push and pull effect, but we'll rock and roll, and we'll continue to take some more, and then maybe a quick scalp through the 230 marker if we're fortunate enough to get there.
Yes, sir. So yeah, I got to make sure I'm canceling all of my orders in some of these other names that I'm no longer in at the same time. So Apple, I got eyes on Apple here. I don't know if you guys noticed. So yeah, watching stock sell on my main screen, holding stocks has been holding below that VWAP, which is somewhat interesting here. But Apple seems interesting here. Yesterday, we got a bit of selling coming into the market after a very strong close in and around this same 315 area. Looking back at last week, Thursday and Wednesday, this 315 acted as a bit of support. So just as of recent, this 315 has been acting both as a bit of a support area, a bit of an area where when we break down, we get a strong flush, and then we step a little bit lower on top of 310s. And then when we bid back up, holding as a bit of resistance over, I guess, through the overnight session. So 315, watching that, it's struggling to kind of push past it. You can see here, strong bid pushes Apple all the way past that 315. We make a high of 315.16. Now, chop, chop, chop. Triple doji, maybe a little bit of a inverse hammer there. That's definitely a doji. That's definitely a hammer. So a lot of indecisiveness, wiki business here. So what can I do? I'm going to step up to a higher time frame right there, just pushing up to a 30-minute chart and see. Is this a 3-bar setup? Potentially, maybe. We'll have to really see what this bar closes as, and we still have 15 minutes left. But so far, all I'm seeing is that supply that was stepping in yesterday and I guess a little bit last Thursday, stepping in the same areas as of right now, slowing down that aggressive bid that we got coming into 12 o'clock. So eyes on Apple for that. Why is AMD lagging? Asking senior trader. I don't know. We'll take a look at AMD in a second. Ron, thank you for the super chat. Any reason, explanation for MU's sell-off? Well, I think we just looked at SOXL, right? Take a look at SOXL. I'm pretty sure it's a bit of a sector move here. When we look at memory, looking at DRAM at the same time here, DRAM, look at that, boom, flush city all the way to the downside. Yes, we did get a bid in the after hours on DRAM for a nice 2 or 3 hours there, potentially off of Nvidia's earnings report. You can see that bid really start to step in after 4:15, going all the way into 6:30 last night. But none of that bid was sustained coming in off of the open. Aggressive selling. So I think pretty sure it's sector wide. Now, if you're asking me why, I have no idea. But just sector wide selling on this name. Maybe not really looking like Nvidia was everything that they were looking for. Maybe, I don't know.
Oh, I mean, I think there's a couple of things because I forget who it is. It's packaged directly with NVDA's GPUs. It could just be like a rotation, right? Like you have money coming out of something that goes on these insane runs, and then we've seen the weakness. So I think there's a bunch of things just kind of combining where you see a sell-off rotation maybe into NVDA because it takes an immense amount of capital, and then you see the Salesforces and the CrowdStrikes and some of the cybersecurity names running. So that's where I stand. Again, if I knew behind the scenes of what actually was going on, but that's just my opinion, and I think has the opportunity. And also think about it from a perspective of the crypto space, right? I'll pull this up. Remember those major liquidation events that we had in Bitcoin back in October? I think it was October 10th, and then there was an additional one in November. Well, what happened was in the Kospi in South Korea, you just had an immense amount of the pot. It's funny, I was listening to the All In, and they're like 3% of the population got completely liquidated in their accounts. 3%. That is insane. That's how many people and how many retail traders were actually involved. And then when you go on,
it's mainly because of their president, right? So what happened is their leadership was heavily promoting involvement in the stock market. Mm-hmm. So he was like, I don't know the details in it, but all I know is that the extreme surge of relative volume in Kospi and their stocks came from retail involvement due to promotion by their government, which is crazy, right?
Dude, so 35% of their population were involved with the overall index, and then 10% of that just gets completely liquidated. Like and I'm using kind of the comparison between Bitcoin is people get fearful. You don't have them jumping the gun, and they're not quick to get right back in, and that's why I truly believe it's been a slow recovery, because when you have an index fall 44%, man, that's a lot of people losing a lot of money, unfortunately. And then I understand the bottleneck and the demand aspect of things, but you need people to get involved with the stock itself, regardless of what you've priced into the market. It's all public information. It's been priced in. Now, to get that additional wave, you need participants, and some people might be fearful. I could be totally wrong on something based on that, but so yeah, and BTC. Well, what do you mean? Okay, I understand that, but BTC fell actually 55%. So this is where, but what I'm getting at here, and what I'm getting at is just the over leverage aspect. Okay. What's really caused the issue is the leverage issue. And it's the same thing with, it's funny, as I'm listening to some of this stuff, it's not that Leopold was wrong. It's not that Sam Bankman-Fried was wrong, is that they were just extremely over leveraged. It's not a trading issue. It was a leverage issue.
It was a sizing issue.
Exactly. It was a leverage issue. And then like you fall 17% and you're over levered, like you're at 2 times, that's 34%, right? So if you don't have capital on the side, you're in big trouble. So it's not necessarily about what actual underlying it is, it's a leverage issue.
Yeah, definitely. I think...
no, I'm pretty sure SBF had an insane stake in Anthropic. I could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure he had one of the largest. He had a massive investment, but he just leveraged himself and then sure enough got liquidated. And then that's where you lose all the money. Let's send it over to Sia.
I'm going to dive into the small cap, but just quickly going to mention what I just put on the screen right now. SK Hynix CEO saying not seeing any significant signals of a memory downturn. With that, SKHY not reacting too crazy, but I thought that's something you should know. Let's take a look at the small caps for today. IWM that's the Russell, is currently up 0.30%. Let's take a look at 2 tickers. GPRE, first of all, Green Plains Incorporated had a bit of a volume spike just a couple moments ago. So market cap for this company is at $1.01 billion, and it's down 3.5%. And further, U.S. President Donald Trump and the agency heads have discussed a plan to compensate biofuel producers in the future years for any business loss due to refiner exemptions. The stock reacted to it, and it went up a little bit, but there has been a little bit of a pullback even now. Let's take a look at KPMR. That is KPMR. There you go. Sorry, not seeing anything here. I'm so sorry about that. Anyways, we're going to move ahead. That's the ticker KMPR. Kemper Corporation is down and further sliding 3% and below. Market cap of $1.62 billion. There's just some analyst commentary with this a couple of hours ago. They were maintained at buy by TD Cowen. Nothing too crazy going on here. And that's all for your small caps. GPRE is down 3.6% and further. KMPR is down 3% and below.
Yeah, some great comments in the chat as well too. So if you're the real Don D, that's exactly what he did. But again, we don't know, and I don't know enough about the situation of would he have gotten caught if he wasn't over levered? I think that's a major question that is still looming because he had some pretty big stakes. Exactly, and it's the same thing.
That's what kills most traders, and I've been reading about this and hearing it in the trading space a lot as well. It's like one of the biggest things that kills traders is straight up sizing.
Yeah.
Either the lack of
leverage,
the lack of sizing, or too much of it.
Too much, yeah. Well, too much is definitely the killer because look what happened to our boy Leopold. So Leopold was targeted, but he wasn't that leveraged. I mean, I forget what he raised. It was like $200 million, and he turned it to $20 billion. I think at the peak of it was $45 billion. Insane stuff. But then when you have these pullbacks where you fall 15%, you're too over leveraged and you don't have the capital to hold that margin threshold, and that's what happened to some of these individuals. SBF may never have gone caught if he was in over leveraged. Instead, he decides to have these wild parties in the Bahamas, in the penthouses, doing everything that he was doing. So yeah, that's all it is, ladies and gentlemen. I agree with a lot of what you guys are saying in the chat here. It's just the guy, risk management. Too allocated and no cash on the side. Otherwise, you'd be running a little bit of trouble. But now back to the market as we take some more off here. Neil's getting prepared, I think, for this 230 break. Uh-oh, look at CRM. What a beautiful bounce off of that 244 level, Obi. Nice look there. Heading towards that 230 marker on NVDA. Things are looking pretty good. We're not going to complain about this. We're long from $36, printing $37.22.
Yes, sir. So I'm kind of just looking around. That CRM bouncing pretty nicely. So that VWAP bounce, very solid there. So solid reasons to buy on the right side of that move, especially if there's no continuation. And then back through 245, pretty solid as well. picking it right back up, 248s here. So buyers stepping it right back in. And what I really like is that 244, right? I mentioned that there was some significant action on top of that 244 when we were on the left side of this move here on the initial bid before the selling came into VWAP, and then now the buyers coming back in right on top of that structure, which I really like that. Kind of significant. Don't have the long, but did use reasons to buy to get out of the short there. So where's the next trade is basically what I'm waiting for. Let's see if we make a lower high, or do we actually get back through that 250? If we actually get into that 250, do we break out 250.72s? This has built up a decent amount of pressure, I'd say. The shorts have worked out very decently right there. And yes, exactly. So don't forget to donate for the Chop for Charity. Thank you for reminding us. They're 28 inches for Angel Hair for Kids by August 28th. So that's tomorrow. Time's approaching real fast. What do you got going on?
No, okay, so I checked multiple sources here. So
yes.
FTX actually invested $500 million in Anthropic when the startup was valued at $2.5 billion. We're talking about $2 trillion valuation.
Ooh.
SBF he would have went down as one of, that was 13% of the company at the time.
Yeah.
So SBF would have went down as a complete legend if he didn't over leverage himself and spend his customers' money. I say this all the time, my cousin's fiance had an FTX account and he lost everything. I don't know if he's got it back yet, but but that's what I was talking about, the shying away aspect of things. He's like, I'll never do that again. He's like, I'm done. I don't want to invest in it. If there's the chance of that happening, I don't want any part of it.
Yeah, no, I think definitely. I would say that putting on a risk is not for everybody.
No, it's not. It's not.
You got to be comfortable to put on a risk, and yeah, it's not for everybody, and that's okay as well. And I'm looking for where to put risk on next, and it might be this Walmart, as it slowly but steadily shows me that, hey, Walmart VWAP sellers might actually be on board here. 102.95s is the high of this consolidation, so nice little chop there. So I'm looking at this. We're looking at a potential break of this low here. The sideways consolidation has lasted for over an hour and 12 minutes roughly, I'm seeing. So we attempted, we tried. What is the market doing? Market was near its highs, but chop fest on this here as well, on the ES and the NASDAQ, still within the same kind of ranges of the candles that were printed over an hour ago. So haven't really moved too much in terms of fresh price discovery on the day. So that's not really the best. CRM still holding that bid back up through that 248 now. SK Hynix, we did mention, or I think I mentioned a little bit earlier, their CEO is talking, or he was saying some stuff. So I pulled it up. Nothing crazy. I don't think it's anything significant, but something to watch out for here on SK Hynix. Let's take a quick look at DRAM. But let me know in the chat, what are you guys trading? Wow, DRAM about to break the low a day. So that might be something here. I really like that look. So I would assume that both Micron and SNDK are doing something similar. There it is right there. Low a day tests very, very nearby on both Micron and, let's see, SNDK. SNDK as well. Maybe a little bit more flaggy on this one. What other memory names right there? So SK Hynix, of course, can't forget that one. Recent IPO. Not similar in terms of the magnitude of selling that we got off of the open, but we've been sideways, and sellers have been pretty dominant underneath VWAP here. So similar kind of story across the board in some of these memory names. Ooh, what about some of the storage names? Let's see, Western Digital here, Western Digital WDC. Wow, okay, that selling coming in here as well. Strong relative volume in the pre-market. So it seems like, Joe, one of the trades today was long software and short hardware.
Yeah, it seems to be the case.
Seems to be the case.
Has to be the narrative, man. I mean, yeah. CrowdStrike pretty good. Salesforce really good, right back at the high of the day. Good out there at the volume weighted average price. I think that would be ideal.
It's strong reason to buy, right? Strong reason to buy.
Now None is asking us, None0550 is asking us about Afterglow. Obi, we'll get your 2 cents on it as well momentarily. But here it is, right? Like a name that's been hit pretty heavy, 78% off of that all-time high. Now, what I like about this setup here is if you're thinking bigger picture, it's kind of the accumulation phase in which I was referring to. You're pretty good because if you crack $34, I think that would be a solid out because there's clearly a base here at 37 bucks. And even so, I think there could be a good opportunity, especially if you see price start to turn around that you can re-engage. But right now, considering double bottom right here, I don't think it's horrible. And from an intraday standpoint, nothing crazy from an appreciation on the longer time frame, which is, I think, really important. Now, Trapman, I know we've been going over NVDA quite often a bit here today. CrowdStrike starting to pull back. Salesforce heading back towards the high of the day, up dragging the market up along with it. But one thing that I want to see as we head into almost $229 is when does panic start to ensue? And if it does, we'll be able to identify it through some of our x-axis indicators here, right? Like, so you have the volume. Let's see if this holds up. And what you want to see it is just really, really pick up and amplify. And when you do see that, when you have the ability to identify the volume coming in, is that people are slowly starting to panic, especially at that strike price. I would love to know which contracts Burry hedged his position against, because I remember the last time I read up, I'm sure he's averaged in a little bit, but he was short from 210, and it would make sense that he has the 230s written and the 240s, and that's why we've seen over the past couple of days that size really start to increase. So let's keep an eye on it. Momentum, volume pickup heading into 230 bucks. It could be a really, really nice scalp, but we got to see some of these, the sentiment currently change, not this grinding bid. Otherwise, it'll just be met by defense and most likely sell off, in my opinion. Let's send it over to the desk.
The SPY is currently up over 0.5%. Let's take a look at what's going on with these sectors. Electric tech. Wow, Nvidia has a very good move right now. I'm actually regretting pulling out of Nvidia. Anyways, Nvidia up 9% on the day. Apple's flat. You have Broadcom that is up almost 4%. MU down close to 3%. AMD is down 2% as well. Intel rallying as well, up 3%. GE is down close to 3%. TXN is up 2%. WDC, however, towards the downside, 4%. Cisco, KLAC, Dell RTX, and ANET with MSI all flat on the day. Tech services, you've Googled that is flat as well. Meta is currently down 0.61% to be precise. Microsoft up over 1%. Palantir is up. PNW up as well, having a great day with IBM, CrowdStrike, and Salesforce all soaring. CRM is above 20%, CRWD 17%, PNW 12% almost. Palantir is up close to 5%. Netflix, however, down 2.5% with Oracle flat on the day. Finance, you have a bit of a mixed sentiment across the board. BRKB and JPM with GS, WFC, and Citi, bit of a flat sentiment, but Visa, MasterCard, Bank of America, and AXP a bit into the red. MS, however, trading a bit towards the upside by 0.5%. Hood is up 2.14%, and Coin is up over 5% on the day. Retail trade is lagging a bit here. Retail trade lagging a bit here. You have Amazon and Walmart, well, below the 1.5% mark. Costco is down below 1.5% mark as well. Home Depot, TJX, CVS continuing to slide. However, you have WSM and DG that are up on the day over 3.5%. Carvana also up 1.7% and TGT up 1%. Producer manufacturing, the only name in the green in this sector is LRCX that is up close to 8%. Energy minerals a bit towards the downside and a mixed sentiment in the latter half of the sector. Health tech relatively not strong, relatively a bit flat as well. You have DHR, that is one of the only names that is up in the sector with WAT up 2.2%, and Lilly is flat. J&J is down on the day. Consumer durables, you have Tesla that's up 2%. Rest of the sector looking like a bit of a mixed bag of stocks with Ford up as well. Consumer services, consumer non-durables, utilities, process industries, transportation, a lot of red across these four sectors, as well as process industries. Health services, you have UNH that is down and sliding 1.5%, with LH that is up 1.5%. And finally, moving on to communications, Verizon, TMIS, T, all into the red, and Echo flat on the day.
Good stuff. Thank you for that. Man, look at this curl over. Oh, that was it.
Back to 250.
Man,
250.
That was it, man.
250.
What was the 1 minute? What was the 1 minute telling us?
I mean, hey, man, you called it out too. You had a lot of time. I mean, you know.
Yeah, but I'm so precise with the entry.
Yeah, but here's the thing. You don't have to be. It's like sometimes, you know,
game of pennies, man.
Sometimes it's okay to not have everything that you want to set up. Like this, it's still there. The trade's still on. It doesn't have to be perfect. You don't have to have all the, you know, ducks lined up in a row for the trade. You just gotta, sometimes you just gotta dive in and take the trade, put the risk on because it's there. You recognize that was a great opportunity.
Yeah, I know.
Just like, you know, sure, maybe you miss it by like $1 or $2. Maybe you have to size down, but the trade is very much there. So
yeah,
250
you're right.
back on. Like I'm thinking about maybe flipping the script on this one, and if we're gonna show me that much strength off of VWAP, and we're poised for a 250 retest, that consolidation at the highs, guys, which was very convincing to start getting involved with, especially on the break, aggressively back through that 249. So that's I'm thinking about watching this one a little bit closely. Really have to see that umph and that push through that 251 and a sustain above to really have me convinced that we're maybe potentially looking for a trend higher. What was the short float on this one? Do you remember? I think you looked
on Salesforce.
CRM. Did you look it up?
No. Oh,
right,
yeah. Okay.
So let's do a quick look.
Yeah.
Here.
Pull that up here. Pull that up. We'll get right back to it. But we're starting to see a sentiment shift here within the time and sales, and the volume is starting to pick up. This is okay. I'm pointing at it like you guys can see what I'm looking at. As we inch closer and closer to this $230 marker, look what is happening on the time and sales and the volume. It's starting to pick up. All right. Why? Because there might be a chance, and there might be that slight chance that people are panicking because their 230 short calls could be potentially underwater momentarily. Volume really starting to get rampant. So here we have the time and sales of NVDA, and this is my derivative of the actual asset NVDA. Okay, so these are two different. I had to pull this up because the size is really starting to display itself. Now someone's gonna win this battle. Keep an eye out on this marker because what we are seeing here is pretty interesting, ladies and gentlemen. We talked about 230. Now, the question being is, are we going to be able to break this and hold it, or is hedge funds going to have the ability? Now, that could be it. That could be the end of the roller coaster. But as we get closer and closer, you can see the narrative change within this underlying asset, and I think it's a pretty cool thing to watch here from an intraday standpoint, especially we've been talking about this level for quite some time, Obi.
Yes,
did you find the short float on?
So the short float on this one is not that much. It's about 3.3% on CRM. So, you know, I thought it was going to be a little bit higher, but you know, 3%. Still pretty significant for you know, a stock that is over $200 billion in market cap there. So interesting stuff there. Let me know, what are you guys trading? What are you guys looking at? I'm not really seeing anything too much that's too convincing to me. That 250 is the only thing that I'm really watching right now. Next pivot, 235 for Nvidia, saying trader forever. Let's wait.
You got to break 230 first,
on
NVDA. Yeah, exactly. Let's break 230 first. It is a bit of a straight line up from VWAP, but we're seeing you know, a similar kind of a move. In a few different stocks.
Pull up the tape on this thing.
What's the tape doing?
It's getting very interesting. It's starting to shift. Like people are saying just around the corner.
Right. So you have the NVDL chart on, but you have the NVDA tape.
Yeah. Okay, nice. Exactly. It's starting to change. I'm saying this could be like, it could be a big nothing burger. But what we can see is like we're in this 1 o'clock, we're almost at 1 o'clock, right? This is supposed to be lunchtime. No one's really paying attention, but yet we're having an increase in volume. I could be totally wrong, and this could be the end of the show, or not this show, that is, the NVDA 230 show, because the sellers just overtake the buyers. But what we're starting to see is just a slight profile change. And I mean, heading into 230 could be something pretty cool to watch. And hopefully we have the ability to kind of capture that here and just focus on the tape as well, too. Ladies and gentlemen, sorry to interrupt you. But yeah, it's really starting to ramp up here. It'll be pretty cool as we head into that zone.
For sure. I'm just reading the chat here. CoreWeave Mercenary. I was going to say mercenary, but that's Mercenary Fluor Delacour? Okay. Anyways, let's see. CELU, they were saying. CELU, what's going on here? CELU, cellularity. Ooh, this one definitely multiplying itself here off of the open pre-market high breakout off earnings on cellularity today. Another earnings name with some directionality. Didn't have eyes on, but good look there. Hold a VWAP. I like this one. $2.09 on this one right now. Cellularity, guys. Let's see what they did as of recent, 3 hours ago. Boom, boom, boom. Musel Innovations. I want to know about their earnings report. Not really seeing too much here. Apparently, according to this chart, they should have reported today, but not really seeing that happening here. So how do I get back? Back to chart. There we go. 210s trading on CELU. So good look there. Strong relative volume. Talk about
what's that?
11 million times its normal traded volume. 11 million times. The average 30-day volume being 5 million. I'm sure that's skewed by recent stats as well. Probably much lower than that. But if you're going to be doing 153 million shares on the day, you might be experiencing a little bit of relative volume. So yeah, good look on that one. This is definitely where one of the parties is at today on the day. So yeah, I like that. Not really my cup of tea. So good luck with cellularity. Netflix is dead, saying athlete stan. Okay, so let's take a look at the good old flakes. Netflix is dead. Doing relative volume in the pre-market. Hello. Okay, interesting. And then selling off of the open. Is this more of the same? I know last time I checked this stock, we were bouncing off of that $70 higher time frame level. Let's see what it's been doing this week. 30-minute, boom. Kind of a sideways chop, guys, since last week. Holding up into this $80 level. Nice little bid off of that earnings swipe lower. 65, the low of this whole move from those all-time highs, guys. From those all-time highs, this is the lowest we've gotten so far on Netflix. So you can see our all-time highs, 134s, and we've gone to a low of 65 right there for a nice, decent little pullback over the course of 378 days. For a pullback of 50% on the stock. So pretty decent pullback. 50% retracements is what I usually, kind of try to look for. And the fact that that comes in exactly at that $70 prior mark, and then we're catching a bit of a bid, I like it. I like it. Definitely, if I was looking for a reversion of this multi-year trend on Netflix from 2022 to 2025, that 50% reversion, I guess almost 50%. Right? I would say shy of that leg, definitely over 30%. But yeah, nice look on Netflix. It has been bidding up over the past few weeks, and that's something I have been keeping in consideration when I am watching the markets. T, what's up, yo? Saying, look at SPY.
Yeah.
See what we spy on this one. Yeah, nice little trend on the weekly, eh? It's like this stock is almost rigged to go up. Pretty strong on the day today as well. 771.60s is the high of day. Nice little trend, trending higher. On top of that, opening range high as well on the pullback. So I like that. Showing some strength on the day after, some strength in the after hours as well. So a nice little uptrend on the spider. The NASDAQ following up here as well. Hasn't really quite gone through some of its morning session / pre-market highs just yet, but on its way there on the cues. What's up, Sia?
Before we send it over to Sia, okay. No, that's all right. That's all right. Continue. No. Don't worry.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Let's take a look at the USD BRL pair, that is the Brazilian real, and currently trading around the 5.16 region according to the central bank as of today. Brazil's current account deficit has widened far more than expected in July. Brazil's current account deficit widened far more than expected in July, reaching its highest shortfall for the month in 7 years, as external accounts have now deteriorated across the board. You have also the rupee dipping and the pound slipping. Let's take a look at the USD INR pair here. Sorry, USD INR. Pulling up the chart here, that ended the day around 95.5 to be precise. The Indian rupee has declined and it has given up early gains as of today as the dollar demand has picked up pace. So the rupee ended the day, like I said, at 95.54, around that region per US dollar, down 0.1% on the day. And the INR had reversed gains briefly after touching a high of 95.4. Let's take a look finally at USD GBP, that is the British pound. So the pound has eased to a 1-week low against the dollar and the euro, as sources are saying that the investors have now pared expectations for an interest rate hike by the Bank of England this year and shifted their focus to, as you do all know it, the annual Symposium on Monetary Policy at Jackson Hole in the United States. We also have a speech coming from Fed Chair Kevin Warsh tomorrow. So all of that happening in the monetary markets, and let's send it back to trading.
Thank you very much, Sia, for that. Bit of a pullback off of that 250 test, that retest of 250 on this Salesforce as of right now. 249.81 is the high, so still waiting. Apple's still kind of holding underneath that 215 level, guys. What's up, Adara?
Keep an eye here on the NASDAQ and USO. We're getting some comments coming from the top security official, whose name is Rezai, in Iran. He's warning that Iran would strike the U.S. military and economic interests if the U.S. starts what he's calling mischief against Iran again. So again, if the mischief, quote unquote, starts up here from the U.S., Iran's ready to strike both militarily and economically against the U.S. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Los Pollos. That might be a pretty good play because, again, I mentioned that it could be a little lackluster, and I think that's kind of the narrative, but I'm not going to write it off completely. We did see the volume start to increase, so at some point maybe there was some participants who were reducing their size and getting out of their positions here, but not the breakthrough or the squeeze that we were necessarily looking for there, Obi. It's much more difficult on such larger cap names. The largest on the planet now. Let's see actually how much it grew in size, because yesterday I believe we were talking about 5.1 trillion. We're now sitting at 5.5 trillion. All right, crazy amount of cash here. So yeah, let's see. We're gonna be patient. We went to a high of around 229.87 roughly, 75 we'll call it, but yeah, anything can happen. If you get a negative catalyst and the pressure really starts to move lower, I think there could be a short opportunity here as well too, if you're looking for anything along those lines. But we also have to respect what our Greeks are telling us as well.
For sure. It's still kind of just observing this CRM, nothing's really changed. So I was talking about Apple here, guys. Attempted that 315 once again, but getting slapped back in. So we're seeing that, existence of that supply that we've been seeing, I guess, over the past few trading sessions, maybe yesterday, the most significant, and I guess, on last Thursday as well. A lot of selling stepping in here into and through the 315s. So just observing, waiting and watching and being patient. Trying to sit on my hands as best as possible, waiting for the next trade. I am slightly, got a slight itchy trigger finger for this CRM short underneath this 250, but I'm gonna be more patient. I'm gonna be a little bit more patient here. Just wait and see if it's gonna bid aggressively and then just stall 49s, boom, 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 and not really kind of start to bleed right back in. I don't know. I don't really feel as good about it. I'm going to be patient and let it tell me if there is a trade for me setting up there on that one. Palantir continuing to trend higher as well. So Palantir, we know this one. I was watching a little bit earlier for a potential reversion. I even drew that line in. Arbitrary chart art as not really respected. It's respected on the initial break, but breaks right back up. So when indicators usually, what's happening there on the middle of the screen there? Is that the full moon? What's It's
Yeah, I'm not sure what that
I don't know
is.
what's going
there.
on there. It's like
Scary.
feels like someone punched the screen, and now we've got a bit of a.
I was thinking something
thing on the
else
screen.
there, Obi.
What is that?
A hole
A hole?
of a firearm there, maybe. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Oh yeah, maybe. Oh,
yeah,
is that supposed to be? Okay, I see what that is. Is that
don't-
supposed to be like a bullet hole or something?
I don't know, man.
Maybe. I don't
Guess
know.
we'll
I don't
never
really see that
Lunar
too
eclipse
much.
this eve. Oh,
but,
it's the lunar eclipse this
is
evening.
it?
Yeah, don't
Okay.
stare at it.
The eclipse. Yeah, we shouldn't be staring at it right there.
Isn't there like a video of Donald Trump staring right at it?
Famously.
Yeah. he's
It
like-
was a meme.
It's like, bro, don't look at it. He's looking right at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to be doing
Neutrons.
that. But you know, when you're 80 years old, you're probably like, you know, I've lived through enough of this life. Let me just live life a little bit more on the edge. You take some risks. You take some more risks.
I'm all about that. Yeah.
as well, yeah.
Exactly. One spin, Obi. That's it. Well, multiple spins, I guess, but
You only live once.
YOLO.
YOLO.
Sir.
That was bringing back what 2025 there.
Yeah, man.
With that, yeah, AXTI. I guess you guys are talking about JL822. I'm looking for more stocks. I'm looking for more opportunities, but not seeing too much here. I guess Nike I've had eyes on. Nike, we know that's been moving around with some of the retail names. Let's take a quick look at yesterday's runners. ANF. That one was absolutely beautiful there. Not really doing too much. So we got that leg on earnings day one. Today we're getting that consolidation. So tomorrow I'll be watching to see if ANF continues to trade above 150. So maybe we get that 3-bar push on ANF on a strong earnings report. Don't know if it's going to happen that cleanly. That's probably ideal scenario, taking a break of that 154 halves. Maybe you have some inventory from 150s from the morning session. So maybe tomorrow that sets up, but that's all in, I guess, speculation.
Holy cow.
So let's see what else you guys are looking at. AAOI here. What is that up to? Applied Optoelectronics. Ooh, okay, AAOI. Of course, we know this name. 112s on a bit of a support throughout the day. 1130s is the day low here on AAOI. Not really seeing too much here, guys. Yeah. What are you guys trading? Is there a news report or something on a Microsoft saying Jason Hill, MSFT? Hey man, you know what the report is? The report is that software is strong. That's why the whole sector is up today. I don't think Softy itself specifically has any sort of direct news.
I can confirm they don't, at least not that I'm seeing.
Thank you very much, Adara. So they don't. But guess what? When a stock like Softy, I've spoken about this before, when a Mag 7 starts doing multiple relative volume, even over 1.5, that can be pretty significant. Today, on a 5 period, Microsoft doing 2 times the R-vol here. Funny enough, I was looking at this 505s and being like, do I revert this for a push back in? I was also watching it in the morning for a break of 500 to push into that 505 or even further level as well. Didn't take either of those trades, but it seems like Softy continuation there with the rest of the sector. So Softy, I'm asking, is this the leader of the software sector? I don't know, but we'll keep an eye out on that IGV there, the iShares Expanded Tech Software ETF. That's holding up quite nicely. Fresh highs on this one. I think there was another one, software ETF that I remember. Yeah, XSW. That's the State Street one, Software and Services ETF, XSW. I guess this one does absolutely no volume. So maybe don't even touch this one. So yeah, how much volume? Average daily volume, 52,000. Yeah, no, thank you. Not really going to touch that with a 100-foot pole as well. So maybe we find another one. Software ETF. Let's just look. What else is there? There's the one on the CBOE, XIGV, IGPT, Investco AI, and Next Gen Software ETF. Also no volume. Damn, I guess it's only IGV that does volume. This one does absolutely nothing. This is, again, breadcrumbs on a chart, 190,000 shares daily traded on the 30-day average. Yeah, not happening. not happening at all. Apple pushing for another push, another attempt at that 315 here. Let's see if this will be the time that it can finally break through. Some more aggression there. Market also printing some fresh highs both on the ES and the NASDAQ. Marvell failed VWAP saying MF dangerous. Whoa, there goes Apple high a day right here, 315, 18s. Will there be follow through? I don't know. It's pretty choppy in this area. So I think the likelihood of continuation of the chop is probably higher than a follow through, unless and until we can really break out of the range with volume and kind of sustain some of that action as well. So we'll wait and see if that one comes in. Let's see, what else was I looking at? Tesla? I don't know. What's happening with Tesla here? Let's look at the Mag 7 real quick. Let me look at my thing. Alphabet and Amazon are the weakest of the bunch. I would say Amazon a lot more than the rest. Literally everything else that I'm seeing here. Even SPY is pushing for pushing fresh highs on the day. USO is pushing for a potential high on the day as well. Nvidia pushing for highs, Tesla pushing for highs right there.
I think that might be
Microsoft the same thing, Apple the same thing. But let's look at Google. Distinctly different, consolidating, chopping around sideways, closer to VWAP. Amazon actually beaten down on the day, trading below VWAP. So distinctly different on this one, showing relative weakness compared to that of the market. Let's take a quick look at Meta as well. Oh boy, wow, whoa, look at that reversion. Talk about a hammer inverse hammer candle signal there, Joe. On Meta.
No.
Look at this one, right here. Boom. That's that same kind of inverse hammer that we saw
on the 3.
CRM off VWAP. Let's see if it shows up on the 5. See, there's the thing. It doesn't show up on the 5.
No. Get into more detail. Yeah. See what the 1 displays.
So 1 minute.
It doesn't always, man.
Yeah, it doesn't always. So 1, you can see a nice little rejection of that uptrend right there. So maybe getting involved 584s was not too bad of an idea there on Meta platforms. Really having a bit of a platform now on top of this 570 support since 1030-ish. So we'll see if that support level can be broken down. So if you're looking at software, OB, look at RBRK saying stock trader. All right, let's take a look at this rubric here.
Quick second there, Obi. I am short NVDA. There's no incorrection, so I'm long NVDA, short NVDA. It's really key to note.
Oh, he's hedging.
Yeah, I wouldn't even like.
He's hedging his position.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't even say that. But it is some form, right? Like one goes up. The average prices are completely different, right? And I have a little bit more. So I have like 10 times more size, but I'm not giving this very much room. I just believe that I think that I could totally be wrong, but the sellers may have won on this one. Again, we'll give it some more time, but just considering how the momentum and price action has cooled down and prices slowly moving lower, that's why I'm going to see if the hedgies and Burry have won at these highs of defending their $230 level, Obi.
Yeah, man, definitely have to watch that. Funny enough, y'all call out rubric, and as soon as it's called out, we get a strong volume spike through the high a day.
They report earnings tonight.
They report earnings tonight. All right, thank you very much, Adara. Yeah, so doing a little bit of relative volume in the pre-market 7 times and roughly about sustaining 3 to 4 times relative volume throughout the day here. Fresh highs on that bit of a spike, volume spike on rubric along with the rest of the market. So good look there on that one. Joey making a crazy straddle right now, saying Ben Affleck.
Yeah, I would like to think I know what I'm doing. Trust me, I'm out. As soon as it breaks this high, I'm out. I'll take a couple of stabs at it, but I'm not giving this very much room, right? Don't forget. And look at the tape really start to ramp up here. So there's definitely a big time battle going on between the bulls and the bears right now. Obi, I got to pull up my tape here, so because I know we had both of them kind of lined up with each other. That's my NVDA tape. Oh no, that's the time and sales. All right, let's see if we can fix this here. Again, I'm not holding on to this, and I don't have very much size. This is just more or less, I'm not going to say experimental, but I want to see what happens at this level because clearly there's a lot of activity going on here around this 229 marker heading into that 230. We could squeeze, and that's what I'm thinking here. I'll get out as soon as we crack this high. It's that simple, and I'll keep the long position.
Yeah, no, I'm looking at someone sent me a thing for Lucid that there was some size on the offer, and then I just realized that was more than 20 minutes ago. So disregard. That trade is probably done and gone as well. So we've already kind of pulled right back in. So 31 about 20 minutes ago would have been around here. So I guess we did trail off of that a little bit, but no idea. CRM still holding underneath that 250, watching it pretty closely. Short PLTR. No, I don't know about that, man. Last time we just checked, we were trying to push through these highs and continuing pretty decently as well. Okay, there's a bit of a flush on that CRM, trading back down into 248 and some change. All right. Can you really hold that 250 as resistance? That's one of the questions that I am asking. Trader Griff, thank you very much for the super chat. Gents, can you check IONQ break on 43, playing $41 calls expiring tomorrow, in the money, but how would you play this price action? Good question. I think if it's an options question, probably directed at Joe.
Oh yeah, we're out
there. So IONQ. So they're saying what are the calls? 42 calls, 43. So break on 43. Okay. So the break on 43 is coming. That's what they're saying. I think that's what they're talking about. Looking for a break on 43, and then playing $41 calls. So does that mean that you're playing 40 and $41 calls, or you have 40 $41 calls? 40 times $41 calls. That's two different things, right? So that's one of my questions. How would you play this price action?
Coming, Obi.
I don't know, man. How would you play this price action, Joe?
I'll have to get back to that question momentarily, because right now we're just focused on this pretty cool event that could potentially happen here. Like, again, I was just seeing who's going to win this battle on the short, because it looked like we were going to establish that lower high. I got to get rid of this data point. We'll get into that momentarily, Obi. Sorry, I was just really focused on the tape here as we creep towards the high of the day, which could give us a pretty good setup. Why is it doing that? Oh, is that correct? No, it's not. Oh, it's the low that I'm looking for. Hello. Breathe, woosah. Go up to 226 and see what we got going on here. What do you think?
Look at the can be pretty.
Yeah, look at the tape start to ramp up a little bit here. Obi.
Yeah, we're catching a bit of a bid here.
Yeah, exactly. So
market's looking to break out of its high on the Nasdaq.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, the actual underlying might be a play here. Let's see what happens. See the defense right at the high of the day starting to step in. Yeah, so we want to see a substantial amount of volume step in. And this is what I'm talking about, just sticking to your risk measures. It was a field trade to see if we would get that breakdown. Who's going to win the participation? I'm long NVDA from 36. We're trading at 37.72s. And I believe at this pace, if you break through the high of the day, you're going to actually probably head up into $38 on this underlying asset. So pretty good look here so far. High of the day there, lows. Be cautious of this one because there could be some form of a squeeze. Once again, it's not the same. It's not of the same magnitude from my experience when you have a $5.5 trillion company, probably a little bit more now, $5.6 trillion, compared to where you see that company that's in the small cap land, and it's just like everyone's getting absolutely blown out of the water. It might be a little bit more of a slower effect here, but who knows? Anything can happen at this inflection point, and let's keep it at that. So other than that, you're still short Walmart there, OBQcom going as well. Katina Man will like that. There we go. 230 coming in here. We're about 14 cents away, ladies and gentlemen. It's only a matter of time. Do people 30 seconds, says Stravman, do we punch through, or are we going to just hover around this neck of the woods? There's NVDA, our only blemish here on the day. We'll head back over to the actual name that we're long in to see. So whatever I lost, it's just we just gained from this appreciation here on this move up in this name in NVDA specifically. So, and here we go. Yeah, but again, I don't know if we're gonna get that. Look at our volume by time profile, right? It's extremely cool right now. And what we would want to see, just due to the amount of size, is that volume really start to pick up, and that can give us a little bit more conviction and correlation with our thesis that we've kind of established here. And if it does, then double top, oh, you might get that move back lower. So just be cautious, guys. Wrong move on the NVDA. Yeah, I know, Renshaw. Yeah, I think you might be a little bit late here, my friend. Make sure you hit live. Hang rate stop, buy order 201 with a 210 limit and immediate 230 stop loss. I love that. Yeah. That's a really good idea, to be honest with you. If you squeeze through that level, then sure enough, it's just like Scalp City. See you later. Take whatever it gives you, and then just reassess the situation from there, Obi.
Yes, sir. And I'm just looking at, someone just sent me a link. There's a Traders for a Cause event happening in Toronto now.
Is there? Oh yeah.
In the States a lot. There's another one in Toronto now. So
don't forget the money show. The money show is on the 26th or 27th.
The thing about the money show in Toronto, man, like like that's where I first met you.
Yeah.
Right? The thing about the money show in Toronto is that it's not the same as like the money show that happens in Las Vegas. Like, that's the big one.
I wouldn't know.
Right? That's where you get like people coming in from all over. Like that one has been. I mean, that one has been. It's shown to have a lot more, I guess, interest coming in. So I prefer that one a little bit. I've been to the money show a couple times in Toronto. Mm-hmm. It's it's all right. They got to step their game up a little bit, but it's not. It's all right. Nothing too crazy, but the last Traders for a Cause event in Toronto was a lot of fun as well. Got to meet with a few awesome traders.
Yeah, how was that?
No, it was solid.
How about the Vegas one? Oh yeah, you went to the Miami one, right?
Yeah, I went to the Miami one as well.
Vegas does provide the liquidity. Well. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Okay. So when is this one? The 30th?
September 30th. No, someone just showed me pictures. They put up pictures from last time, and some of us are in those pictures. You can see.
Oh yeah.
Right here. Like,
is this Toronto?
That's the whole crew.
Is that Toronto?
All of us. Yeah. This is last time in Toronto.
Oh, that's 2025.
I want to see if I can find that.
Is it coming back this year?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. September 30th.
Oh, okay. Well, you just said there was a picture from.
But this picture is from last year.
Okay. Yes.
So let me see if I can pull up some of the pictures there. We show the whole crew there. Wayne's in the picture.
Wayne.
We got Prad's there as well. We got Adam there. Adara was there as well. Yeah, we had a bunch of traders come through on that one. Dallas was there as well. It was a good time last time. Yeah, that was a while back. So September 30th happening once again right here in the heart of Toronto. Apparently at the Rec Room. So that'll be fun.
Where was it? Was it at the Rec Room last year?
Last time I think it was at the Steam Whistle.
Whistle Brewery.
Yeah, the brewery. Yeah, that was good.
Try this one more time here. We're not gonna get carried away with it. Let's just see how it reacts. Things really starting to cool down here. And
yeah,
give us a little bit.
Not seeing anything too crazy, man. The market's kind of settled down.
Yeah,
the morning was pretty aggressive. A lot of hype. That software bid really, being one of the main focus of a majority of traders that I spoke to. And yeah, that's kind of died off. So maybe we look for a secondary move. Maybe we look for continuations, or yeah, exactly. Dawning oblivion, saying MU and SNDK just hanging around. Yeah, just hanging around. Nothing too crazy. We had that Nasdaq push of that high right there. No real follow through. Pulling right back in. I was looking at Amazon for a potential push through that 256. Guess what? That's coming in quite nicely there. 255s and some change on Amazon, but not really a trade in my book. So just observing, just watching. Nothing too crazy. Los Pollos Hermanos saying, I see a huge wall at 230. That's why shorting Nvidia today low risk. So you see a huge wall at 230 on NVDA. That's why you feel comfortable shorting the Nvidia below that 230. Interesting look. Cool. I'll be watching that. The high a day, 229.91. So by a wall, I'm going to assume you mean an options wall, very likely at 230. But again, when you get those whole dollar levels, like, yeah, there's probably going to be size at 230. There's probably going to be size at 225, at 220, at 235 as well, right? Some of them may be more stacked than the others. But yeah, good look there. 230 potentially, something there being called out by Los Pollos Hermanos. What's up, Adara?
Keep an eye on Google here, guys. GeoOGL in focus, seeing reports from Bloomberg Legal that Alphabet GOGL, will be settling a class action suit alleging that they charged excessive commissions to UK app developers through the Play Store. Also, keep an eye here on MSFT, this humane AI company in Microsoft reporting a long-term pact. So for people asking about news on Microsoft, we just got a story about that long-term pact with Humane. Back to you.
Thank you very much. Yeah. So yeah, no, I'm still trying to find some of those pictures from last time. I got to look at past events, I think, to look. Oh, completed events. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
okay. There we go. Got them right here.
I'm not gonna try that anymore.
Yeah. Here we go. I got a picture right here. Boom. This was the last Traders for a Cause right here. You got.
Oh, we got a boy Yanni.
What's it? Oh, I have to.
Where is?
Yeah, there's Yanni. There's Wayne. There's Dallas. There's Adam. There's me. There's Brad, and there's Adara right there. So a solid set of traders at the last Traders for a Cause event right here. So yeah, maybe we'll see. Maybe I'll see you there. I'm definitely looking to go. Apparently sponsored by some people that we know as well. Six Trading apparently.
Okay.
So we'll have to see about that. Other than that, let's see what's going on. Binoculars, Tesla, Nvidia. Let's see. Reading the chat here. I don't know what Dragos means by binoculars. Tech on tech crime here. Yeah, maybe. When you
Where's
have
the tech on tech crime?
No idea. Are you talking about the hardware sell-off and the software bid that's been happening today? Because that's been a pretty solid trade. And if you were hedged in the right way, I guess you made money on both legs of it. Yeah, that's pretty interesting what's happening today. Yeah, don't really have too much else. What do you got going on?
Yeah,
though?
same thing, man. We took another attempt on it. I think
so you got out of that short position.
I re-engaged at the high of the day because I'm like, nothing's really going on. So it's just like paper cuts pretty much on these as we creeped higher. So just getting out because at this pace, I do believe that we're gonna break. But there's a couple of things that I want to look for. See, it's just like little scratches, and what we have in the appreciation from our other, it just offsets it really. What I would do is if it really started to work, I would remove one side of the trade. And allow the other to appreciate exactly like what we got going on right here. If the short really started to work and you see that flip, then I'm out of my long size. But other than that, here it is, right? We'll see. We're still hovering, man. There's a big time battle going on. The volume is extremely cool at this given moment, Obi, and I want to see that increase for us to kind of look for that $230 break, which, I mean, it may not happen today. What if it happens tomorrow as we inch closer to expiration? So yeah, Trader for a Cause. Let's see, go check that out. And also the Money Show. Money Show not as, I guess, as fun.
Nah,
it looks
man,
like you guys
not here. I don't think
No,
so. I was honestly expecting a lot more.
It's coming.
The thing is, in terms of legitimate prop
230
firms,
break coming.
and I mean like old school type where they kind of fund you and you don't have to put up capital, or actually have vested interest in training their traders. Not many around in Canada, I would say.
No,
I know there's I've heard of some of the guys in Vancouver, great people there as well, but not too much in Toronto. I know we have few dudes that don't. I guess traders don't really come out to much of these events in Toronto. That's what I've noticed.
I don't know. Sharif
More
was
of a
at
thing in the
Blossom
States.
Con.
Like I know that there's day traders in Toronto, right? But
Yeah, absolutely.
we got the TD and TD floor is like right there, right? The TD building.
Yeah.
TD floor is right there.
Yeah.
TSX is right there as well.
TXS is right down the street, man.
Yeah. So, what's that?
Trader TV
Yeah,
Live.
Trader TV Live is right here, but
Yeah, hit
in
the I
terms
get,
of like other
you know,
traders,
man.
I don't really see them around too much. But then again, walking down the street, I'm not gonna look at a guy and be like, "Oh, that's a day trader," right? It doesn't work like that.
You don't do that?
No. I don't think that's how it works. Oh boy. Apparently, DAIC has been halted up, saying Bhavin Patel. Yeah, we know that name's been running around doing some crazy things here. DAIC halted up. We talked about this one yesterday.
We're running into 230 here, Obi.
Yeah.
You continue. I'm just gonna like if anything happens, then I'll just mention it. But
nice.
yeah,
a bit of a halt up there on DAIC as of right now. So yeah, this was a name we were looking at yesterday with Luis for that opening range low breakdown, and it seems like more of the same today when it gave you that exact same move once again. Another 15-20% drop to the downside off of an opening range low break on DAIC, but a halt up. Interesting.
The 230.
230 incoming here on NVDA.
Tina Man's going, we're ready to
boy,
we're going
look at that
rock
size.
and roll here, man.
Look at that size. We slapping this size or what?
Yeah, man.
All right.
Holy cow, look at that. That is so crazy. Man, look at this size right here. That's insane. Let's get our quote highlights
Insanity.
Up, man.
Insanity.
Man, if that breaks, yeah, that's what I'm saying. We gotta be cautious.
You risk against it? I know traders that would look at that size on that 230 and be like, well, that's my exit liquidity. I can just risk against that, wait for the decrement of the offer and just pound it in
That's what I'm saying, though.
You could do that.
Someone there, Obi.
You can definitely do that. No, of course, I see that.
How come I can't put my quote highlights on you? There we go, bang.
There we go, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, I guess you can see it here on my screen where these are individual shares right there. That's 600,000. 500,000, 400,000, 200,000 shares. We're talking about just over another 23,000 on 99s on the offer, 98s on the offer.
Man.
Boom, boom, boom. There it is. So yeah, people stepping up in front of that size on the whole on Nvidia over, I would say, what is that? Easily over 1.5 million visible size on Nvidia at 230 as we push right up into it. Let's see if we're going to get that break through or not, guys. We'll have to wait and see. A lot of times, a lot of that size kind of winds up, boom, breaks through in a single sweep. So we'll see how far that continuation potentially comes in here on NVDA as we build up nice and slow, nice and steady into that 230, guys.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
We'll have to be patient with
this. And they're
this
holding this, man.
Yeah, it's holding.
It's crazy. Let's do a bunch of things right now. Sean, you don't think it's going?
No, it's not going to hold. It's going to
You think it's going to break?
Yeah.
Well, think about it here. 180 mil, you have to hedge. We're going to pull it up here once again. If we could do here, maybe I'll just have to condense this somehow. We need someone working the sticks because there's that 230, 211,000 contracts, something that we've been talking about. 230 really rocking in and rolling right now. What a fight at 230. This is insane, man. It is. Look at it. Somebody's going to lose here at some point. Watch out for this 230 marker. I think all of us are going to have a bunch of fun with this momentarily. I want to know everyone's game plan here. Like, what are you doing, Obi? What are you thinking about for this 230 break? Did you just get? No, it's not. We can't go far down enough. No, it did. No, it didn't.
It did. No, it didn't.
Yeah. See, it's not there yet anymore because it was at 98.
Not there.
It was at 98s and 97 through 98s. Who's winning now?
I got long 96s and I risked 10 pennies, to be honest. I was like, all right, if we're going to go.
Are you in?
I was in and I was out.
Oh, okay.
I got in and out.
Okay. So, on the short scalp?
On a long
scalp?
On the potential.
Okay,
I just risked 10 pennies. I was like, let's see if it goes now. And if it doesn't, that's fine as well. Yeah.
This battle is insane. Oh, look at that tape. Who just hit that?
Loss.
Whoa, that's crazy.
What?
Man,
Wick action?
some crazy size came in on the tape there. That was, wow, a clean flush. Yeah, this is the battle of the ages, man. This is what we've been waiting for Q2 of 2026, ladies and gentlemen. It's just this insanity that we got going on. Pardon me?
Technically, it's Q2 2027 because NVIDIA is a year ahead.
Okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. So yeah, here it is, 230. We're still holding up on this. Man, oh man, homie Joe, we going to squeeze it. Frankie, my guy. Frankie, yeah.
Hey, yo, Frankie bumps.
Yeah, it's Frankie, yeah. I'm trying to hold you. I'm trying to hold you. So let's see what we got going on this one, man. Yeah, I don't know. I think it might be a little bit more lackluster, too large, unfortunately, right now. Large and in charge. Bird up.
Come in, let it
Shout
come
out to
in.
everyone
Let it
there.
breathe.
Obi, there it is. Are you going short there?
Nope. Why would I go short? No, not up here. I'll go short if the trend actually breaks, but I mean, if you're shorting off a failure to follow through, what is the actual high? Did we print 01s on NVDA?
No, man, we didn't touch. We
printed 99.
Yeah, we didn't.
So it's not a false break for me. I think the trade is still very much on. I'm more than willing to get chopped up, for 10 pennies a couple of times to participate in the move when it's actually there. So just being patient, waiting and watching this tape and this L1 like a hawk here, maybe a little bit of the book too. But we are pulling off of that 230, about 30 pennies off of it. But you can see here on the chart, some of the pullbacks, 50 pennies to $1, building up into this 230 level. So we'll see what is going on here. Surprise visit by the director of the CIA to Moscow this week to deliver a warning to Russia not to attack NATO countries.
All right.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, it's not happening just yet. Short pan dob. Yeah, but I think a lot of us are just kind of focused on what's going on at the tape here up in this 230 marker here on NVDA, because there's going to be a really good opportunity and a good trade here momentarily, I believe. The longer it hangs up out here, the less I do like it, though. I could totally be wrong. This is only time will tell. Sorry, I'm just reading something right now. Yeah, it's just 20. Yeah, I don't know, Obi. It's fine, Joe. Yeah. No, I'm cool, man. I mean, like, think about where we're long NVDL from. I'm still sitting in that. So whatever happens, I don't know if I'm gonna take one more swing at the short. If I hop in short, then maybe that'll add a little bit more fuel to the fire. Probably there, Obi. Just like our little MRNA scenario the other day. Toss a bid to your NVDL. Yeah, imagine. No, I don't know. The longer this takes, I think there's the probability of it breaking. You got a sell stop, or are you just going like straight punch?
You know how I like to do it.
Yeah, all right, man. Enough
feel it out.
No, like to feel it out.
Feel it out.
I just want to provide some kind of context as well. When we had the Nvidia 1200 break on that was June 5th, 2024. That took forever. That took a good hour. Yeah. I was just in an hour building into that on NVDL. So I don't think this is like at all antithetical for NVIDIA. I think it can still give us that break. It just might make us work for it because it has in the past.
Yeah, I agree. I agree, Adara.
It's right there.
Yeah, there it is. It's coming now. Look at all that size right back up in there. 230. Oh, it's rolling. It's rolling, man. That defense, that supply zone definitely coming in handy. But that was a pretty strong uptick. See, the volume not stepping in just yet. That narrative will change. It's slowly chewing it up, but yeah, it's getting smaller there, Obi. You see that? Yeah, what a game, man. This is a whole bunch of fun watching this size. Yeah, steps right back down here, though. We were chewing up those 98s for a bit. Now starting to come back in. Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
so is there as much
you
size
didn't take
there
it
now?
yet. No, it's not. Yeah, as soon as it breaks, Katina Man's in. Same thing.
So he's
with
got
Boldy.
an edge A or like a script order.
Yeah,
if you print
prepared.
like above, then yeah, it gets.
No, I think that might be it.
Yeah, we'll wait and see. I like to
Could
try a
be
couple
wrong.
of times. Sometimes I like to do a mix of both, right?
Yeah.
Build into it and have scripts out for the push above if it actually goes as well. But as of right now, I understand that this could take a lot longer, so I'm just gonna kind of feel it out, build into it. If it goes right now, it goes right now. That's fine. If it stops me out, I'm more than willing to take a couple of cuts.
You're at 98s?
Before it actually comes in. Yeah, it swiped up that one time, and I was just like, oh, let me get some. Yeah, it didn't really go that time. So that's fine. Tried a couple times. We'll see. Stopped out once again underneath. So you can see here why the idea of that, churning that short underneath the size, looking for that size to become your exit liquidity. But you got to be fast, right? You got to be real fast for that kind of a push.
What do you think about holding it till 70 though? 229.70 OB.
I mean, if I'm entering from a little bit lower, I like that a little bit better. But like,
Yeah.
I'm just giving an arbitrary 10, 15 pennies because I'm like, if we're going, we shouldn't be looking back.
Yeah, exactly.
Then yeah, so we'll wait and see. It's still chopping. It's still chopping around in this range, right underneath 230.
Yeah, lost. That's what we've been talking about, man. Yeah, exactly. A lot of people just keeping their eye gamma accumulating. It's there. 212,000 contracts. I have 211. You could probably round up there at that marker. That's why it's such an intriguing level for us to, or interesting level for us to kind of keep an eye out on here. But a little bit slower than anticipated. But when it breaks, it's just going to pop, pop. Who knows? It's going to be a lot of fun if and when it does. Yeah, what else are you guys looking at? OB in it back again here at 88. It's much better price there. Yeah, we'll just wait to see what's going to happen with this name. What else? I can head over to something else just so we're not hyper. Uh-oh, we're right back up there. Never mind that. Scratch that as we climb a little bit higher. Nice. Almost, you get 6 cents right there, just like that, OB. Now, can we break? You can see the size really start to display itself once again. I wish I could go a little bit further down our time and sales, but I just don't have the option to. Look at the. Yeah, this is as big as it gets, though. You can't scroll down, no?
No, you can. You can.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I can show you how.
Okay, cool. 98's here once again. The defense stepping in, keeping it. Boom! Look at that. Oh, there it goes.
There's the break.
There it goes.
Bang!
That's
there
what
it is.
I'm talking
Straight
about,
through.
man.
20 pennies.
Yes,
Doesn't
sir.
work right away.
What
No,
a
it doesn't.
flush. Man, oh man, that's what I'm talking about, brother. Look at the volume step in on that, man. This is what we've been talking about for quite some time. That was crazy. Yeah, that was wicked, man. Oh, man. Bang, done. That's it, David. Done. That's it. You're out.
Come on,
beautiful. Bro. That's it. As soon as it snaps, someone's in trouble. We're going to keep an eye out on this level here. That was absolutely insane. Man, oh man, nice Katina, man. I don't know if you just scalped in and out of that one or OB, you're still holding on. Did you take any size off? I'll ramble on because I know you want to focus on this. You don't have to answer any of the questions. But what we want to see is a follow through within the tape. Yeah, no worries. There we go. There's my guys. This is what I'm talking about. The 230 break. Yes, sir.
There we go, Sean.
Man, there we go. Oh, man, he's sweating. My boy put some size on. That's why we have no hair. You have to understand this.
Oh,
exactly
boy.
why.
Exactly. That's why. I mean, if you're not losing hair, are you really trading?
Hair? What are you even doing?
What are you doing?
What a break of the 230 marker.
Boom. 230.50. Let's slap it up. 200,000 shares on 250.
Oh, I was too busy commentating. I wish I should have participated.
Oh, come on, man.
Yeah, that's my God. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, that's huge. Rock and roll, man. 40 cents just like that. Bright and early. Go back to the morning segment. Go back to yesterday when we're talking about the options chain and the amount of size at this level. You need to have that in-depth look when it comes to this stuff. What's Sean's position? 230. 230 break. As soon as it cracked that, 230.05. As soon as it cracked that period, I got high. Trading is making me lose some for sure. Sure. You're putting on that size. Starting to come back in here, but look at the volume step in, all right? So there it is. If you didn't lose a couple strands of hair on that trade, then you weren't big enough.
I didn't build from 220.
My hair went gray, says Micron. Exactly. Giddy traders is exactly.
Size? What size? Let me take care of that.
Yeah. What size? I got long hair, well down to about my shoulders. So hey, you're next on the docket for the cut as well too. There, Mike Peter Ryder. Man, good stuff there. It's crazy we waited how many hours for this to happen, and it's about 120 seconds of action. And then I'm not going to say it's the complete end of things, but it's probably going to come to some form of a slowdown momentarily. Let's send it off to Adara.
Yeah, so President Trump's talking right now, and he just said he's changing the name, effective immediately, of Lake Ontario to Lake America. So just beware, he's talking. Just because the NVIDIA excitement's happening doesn't mean that we don't have to keep an eye on President Trump. He's here to remind us what he's saying is still on watch as well. Back to you.
Man, I mean, it's like everything can't just be like the Gulf of America. Like, you got to be a little bit more creative with it, I think.
There's a stop. Stop me out. Stop me out on the rest.
Thank you, Joey. Did pretty nice.
Hit my stop. Let's go.
There. Let's see what happens. Lake America. Bro, you live in Vancouver.
Hit my stop. Why are you not hitting my stop? Let's go. If it doesn't hit my stop, best believe I'm taking more back through that 230.
Oh, watch the tape here.
Why is it not hitting the stop? This should have hit my stop already. I'm out of more than 90% of this move right now. Come on, print the 70s. Let's go. There it is. There's my stop. Bye-bye. Thank you. Come again on that one. 230. You guys have tried a couple times.
You guys can
now it's coming in.
Yeah, at this point, they can have Lake Ontario. Yeah. We only care about these 230 breaks here on NVDA. So who's laughing now? No, I'm only playing around.
What do we say it's called? Lake America or something?
It's Lake America. It's Lake America. You guys can have it, man. We're over here just trading. No, there goes a nice breakdown from that 229 marker. Selling pretty aggressive. So
boom.
Yeah, good stuff.
See, that's a good short.
That is
on the
really
back
good short,
through 230, that's a good short. You barely hold anything against you on the 230 short, right? I understand risking against Buddy that's sitting there at 230s, but look at the bigger picture. Like, we're building into it. Understandably, you know, if you're fast and you're, you know, algorithmic, you might be taking those pieces off real quick, just really turning against that 230 size, right? Boom, there's some aggressive selling coming in right there, all the way into 229, almost $1 on the back through. So that is something that I really like. Talk about a bit of a blow off. Did I flip? No, not yet, but I definitely use those reasons to sell, and you can see reasons to sell start coming in, 230.50s, 230.25s, below 230, 230.80s on the stop out, because I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely going to be wrong if we trade back below there, and then, yeah, back down to 229.5. So where's the next trade? That worked out nicely, and, you know, didn't really have to pay too much before it actually worked. I only had to pay 10 pennies twice before it gave me, what? From 80s, sure, I didn't get 10. I lost on that last little bit, but right here from 229.80s, I got 230.10s, 230.20s, 230.40s as well, and all over the place. So yeah, losing 10 pennies a couple of times to get you know, 30, 40, 50 pennies worth, not too bad. Didn't really go to 231 like I wanted it to. Not the best. It only goes 50 pennies barely, so not the best dollar break.
Yeah.
But
actually,
it is what it is.
Because this won't get updated immediately, but tomorrow's update at these levels, I want to see what they're looking like, because there's definitely some action. You don't want me to make cars for you, my guy? I'm not making any cars. Yeah, John Rodriguez.
You're talking about the Ford plant in Ontario.
Oh, is he? Oh, yeah, John. This is John Rodriguez. This is actually what we've been talking about all day since the morning here, is this 230 level and just the amount of exposure at this zone. You get that punch through, a little panic, but now you can see that the hedge funds are pushing price down pretty aggressively. So a pretty good look there and a bunch of fun trading that with everyone. But the short definitely penning out right now, Obi, as the volume stepped in. You can see that across multiple platforms. A little bit too early on the short. You wait for that break, and there you go. You have some data collected as well. Next time we see this, and you have that punch through with no follow, with no continuation, it's just boom.
Both are very valid trades.
I think so. I agree, man. I agree 100%. And congratulations to both you and to you and Sean on that trade.
Yes, of course. Thank you very much. Yeah, quick little scalp. Nothing too crazy. We were prepared for it. We know how you know, the trade shows up if it does, and we only got an initial part of the trade, only 50 pennies. Like, if this is good, when this is good, and you know, Sean will let you know when this is good. Like, it'll just keep, like, you will not look back at 230. We're just gonna keep going. 231s, 232s, maybe even 235s when it's really good. That's why you got to set up for this. That's why it's worth trying a couple of times. But if it only gives you 50 pennies, you just go with the flow. Read the flow, boom, slap it right back in, back through 230, not there anymore. If it gets back above, fine, maybe the trade's on again. But a bit of a breather here, $1 lower off of that 230. Currently, failure to follow through. We'll have to wait and see if this prior 229 gets broken. That's where that prior kind of a pullback was supported, and we got that push into 230. So we'll see if that buying steps in again. We're holding 229s as of right now. 250s on CRM once again. So that's picking up quite nicely. A little bit of size, nothing too crazy, about 20-ish something thousand shares on that 250 on CRM. But it's unlike anything like that of Nvidia on that 230 here. So we'll have to wait and see. There goes the size on that 250. Boom, right through on that CRM.
I want to hear what Adara was betting about.
I think Adara's got some sort of a news, but hasn't. We haven't received the call just yet. But Lele Love in the chat, thank you very much for the super chat. Okay, so now that I have a new knot, $25,000.
You know what a knot is, right?
$2,500 of Nvidia.
Off of
Nvidia. Where to put it for the close? Love you, Joey. What's a knot?
Like a bank, like a stack of cash.
Okay.
Knot, I guess.
Oh, like
it's
a
an American
knot.
thing.
Okay.
Yeah, like a knot. But Lele's in with the lingo. Oh, I think you're asking the wrong individual. MSCI tomorrow. I think that could be a good opportunity. Neil.
Okay, I thought that had something to do with trading.
Bang.
All right, you guys
whoa, here now. All right, he got it, man. At least he got it there. Bang, bang, bang.
Right. No, it's rare you hear Neil slam the table. I'm like,
man,
whoa, something must have definitely happened, and it's a flop.
Yeah, exactly.
So something definitely did happen.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, why have to put it something necessarily today? Why don't you wait for a high quality opportunity, and then if you see that, then you can put it towards that. It doesn't mean specifically enjoy your $2,500 today. And you know what I always say, Obi, don't spend it all in one place.
Yeah, don't spend it all in one place.
CRM.
Except if it's, your favorite kind of dessert, then yeah, it's okay. It's not bad.
$2,500 on your favorite dessert?
Why not?
Okay.
Lifetime
you guys
supply.
know Trump's done now. He just announced the Lake of America change, took a couple questions, said Iran's in big trouble, said he's spying on China, and then that was it.
Lake of America.
I don't know, Derek, you might have more, I do believe you're going to have more knowledge on this than what I am. How come he gets to choose the name of it? I don't know.
So I do have a lot of knowledge, but here's the thing, Joe. The answer, and I can't tell if you're being sarcastic or not.
No, I'm not. Like, how come he gets to choose the name?
I don't believe he does.
Okay,
I think that's a fair question.
Here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. So when they changed the name of the Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America,
yeah.
Believe it or not, that actually was allowed to fly by judges because Associated Press was continuing to refer to the Gulf of Mexico as the Gulf of Mexico. Caroline Leavitt, White House press secretary, banned them from the White House press corps. And then they went and they said, hey, why are you doing this? They go to a judge. The judge says, you guys have to call it the Gulf of Mexico or Gulf of America. So the point I'm trying to make is somehow there was enough ground for that to happen. Now,
a little bit of
this Lake of Ontario, Lake of America, I don't know. I mean, we all memorized the names of the 5 Great Lakes. I guess you're going to have to add an A into whatever acronym you use. But yeah, to answer your question, Joe, he can and he can't.
Oh, okay. I mean,
so basically, if you don't play by my rules and if you don't say the things that I want to be said, you're not allowed to my party.
Pretty much. That's exactly what he
sounds like. Great form of government, but let's try to find a great form of a trade here.
Bullying is
back through 229s on that Nvidia 250 breaking out here on CRM as well. So okay, interesting here. So 230 breakdown coming in quite nicely. CRM 250. We'll see if we can get through that high a day. Distinct difference here on both of these leaders of stories today. CRM coming in with their earnings report, as well as Nvidia, both catching a decent bid on the day. But Nvidia hasn't really pulled back with any sort of a decent range pullback, whatever you want to call it. Just not just straight line up, right? That's what I'm trying to say. Yes, straight line up, bit of a chop, but consolidative straight line up. We did kind of mention earlier we were kind of sideways choppy, but you can see NASDAQ a lot more sideways than the ES as of right now. So just a quick little observation there. Walmart still holding in and around that 103. So I guess today's not the day. CRM, high day, 250.70s. Here we go. Let's see if we can crack through 250.70s on the offer, guys. So let's see, breakout. Is there going to be any sort of aggression on the breakout? I'm not going to take this breakout. It's 130. I'm not taking this kind of a breakout at 130. Look at the distance that we've traveled. We traveled from 251 to 244s, and then 244s back to 251s within somewhat of a symmetrical time frame. So we've covered quite a bit of ground in a short frame. Maybe some people like that better for the 250 break because you tried to flush and you aggressively came right back. A bit of a shake and bake or however you want to call it. Nah, I don't really like it at this time of day. I'm going to wait and see how far that 250 can really crack. We're already up aggressively on the day, over about 21%. I have 21.8% at current prices. We're pretty much at high a day. So we'll see if CRM gives us that bit of continuation. So that's kind of what I'm watching here. And if that 230 comes back in on Nvidia, I'm more than willing to get involved. But so far, the shorts are definitely winning on the back through trade. So that was a good look as well.
Uh-oh. We got the sorry boys back in the house. My guy Jesse in here now. That's a serious foreign policy. I mean, you guys can have it, man. I don't think we don't really swim it. Have you ever swim?
I would not. Listen, I love to go fishing. I would not eat fish from Lake Ontario.
No, you don't. What's up, 420? Bud Monster. Yeah, no, honestly, I'm more of like a Lake Simcoe guy. I go north.
Yeah, we go to Lake Simcoe all the time.
In Lake Huron.
Boating is great there.
Yeah.
A lot of fun, both for just boating around and for fishing, especially for fishing. I know Randy will have a lot to say about fishing up in Simcoe for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Simcoe, was it Erie?
Lake Erie,
Erie, I've been going to a little bit this season. So that one,
nice.
I wouldn't, probably just as dirty as Lake Ontario, but especially by the city shorelines.
I wonder if it's. Do you think Google will change it that quick? Let's pull this bad boy up. We're going Google Maps here, OB, and seeing what we got going on here. Lake America. See what we got. Where we're at. Where we're located. I'm still Lake Ontario. Ha ha. I'm only messing around. Yeah.
251.
It's still Lake Ontario. Where is it? Come on, man. Is this where you were? You were in Lake Erie. Yeah, no. It's right. No wonder it's covered.
I just realized they already have a lake, Lake Michigan.
Yeah, they already have.
We have a U.S. lake. So why can't we eat, Lake Ontario, Lake Michigan? We each have one.
We each have one.
I don't know.
Clearly, it doesn't work that way.
It's okay. You see how that line cuts it in half?
Apparently,
y'all can call your half Lake of America. That's fine.
Yeah, exactly. Boom. From this side here, we get more creative. Like maybe Buffalo Lake or Rochester Lake.
Yeah, come on. What is Lake America?
We got to get a little bit more creative over there. Nice
Lake Michigan is beautiful.
Yeah, Lake
Michigan.
That's
a good name.
Boom, it's a big lake over there. I was right here last weekend. I'll show you guys exactly where I was.
Lake Detroit.
Lake Detroit or something. You got to get creative with it or something.
Detroit Lake.
Detroit Lake sounds pretty good.
Detroit City.
Lake St. Clair. Where was I? Your boy was right here over the weekend, man. Oh yeah, nice little Grand Bend area and stuff. So good stuff over there. I know a lot of people like Grand Bend. Yeah. You got a bang for that one. But no, man, look at it. You guys can have this. Look at
that piece of water right there. Look at that.
This one?
Compare that piece of water. Now just scroll up.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah. You guys can have that, man.
Boom.
You guys know that.
What is that called again?
Which one?
Sure, what's that one's called? Boom.
Hudson's Bay? Yeah,
Boom.
Come on, man. And look at all this fresh. Mike Peter Ryder would like that, all this fresh water up there.
I wonder why it's called the Hudson's Bay.
Exactly.
Might have something to do with the Hudson's Trading Company.
Yeah. We're just messing around with you guys, man, having a little bit of fun with it here. But yeah, Mike Peter Ryder's all about that. Doesn't deserve the name. Oh, that's crazy.
Hey, Adrian's Art saying stocks. Let's stop the politics. Let's get back to trading. I agree with you. Where are the trades at?
Look at CRM.
CRM 250 breakout. That's a trade. I mean, I don't have it, right? But that was good. It's working out really well. Yeah. So shout out to anybody who had that.
Yeah, you can hold the lake, man.
Still waiting. Man.
Yeah, 250. That bounce there.
Hold that.
Man, started. Yeah. Anyways. Yeah, what are you guys looking at? I mean, that was pretty quick. It was 120 seconds of price action that we were waiting for a little bit there. We'll be on that 230 break. And look at Salesforce go once again.
Yeah.
Man, what a bounce off of 244 up to 251. So, yeah, it's been a fun one here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's do this right now. I don't have the roll call button, but what we can do is the red or green. How's everyone looking here today? Are we red on the day? Are we green on the day? I'll fire things off, put it in there, bang. Bro, yeah, okay, well, you can take that down.
What is that? Adam James.
Yeah, obviously. We could say, yeah, there we go. There we go. Green, who do we got in the chat? Oh, RAF says Hangry Wife. Green says Brady. Who else we got in there? KMX Savage going, ha, ha, ha. Very Green says Bart. We have Audrian saying green. MF Dangerous, red. That's right. Some days, some people are red. Some days they're green. Got green over here from Peter Hop. Nicholas also green in the chat. Red says Vin. Yeah, that's because you make fun of my hair earlier. 420 Bud Monster. Lele. Yeah, you're laughable green today. Looking to spend that cash. Jesse laughing up with some green storms as well. We have four on flow. He's putting out that money with the tongue. A little red here from Seal. No issues about that. Green baby says thick, big thick candlesticks. Mr. Duckett's green with the Hearts Trust Fund, baby. That'd be nice, isn't it? Green tennis balls, I believe he's got in there. Red, says Mike Peter Ryder. That's all right, brother. Guess what? There's one more day, and it's a pretty big one tomorrow. Obi, I know you like touching on that stuff.
Yes, of course. Yeah, no. FOMC tomorrow,
Yeah.
as well as MSCI.
Yeah.
So a little bit of a quarterly rebalance event happening tomorrow. So that's going to be interesting. That's always fun, especially if you are at a prop firm as well. So yeah, good luck to anybody who's putting on some real risk tomorrow. Good luck to you. Godspeed. And yeah, we'll be looking forward to some great opportunities tomorrow if they present themselves. If they present themselves, there is no problem going max BP on certain types of trades.
That's your game plan tomorrow, right? Just hit the notional and see what we got
no,
going
I haven't.
on.
That kind of a trade hasn't really shown up in a while.
I think SpaceX might be pretty big tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta look at some of the sheets there.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. I still haven't done all of my homework just yet, but it'll get done by.
Neil's got his eyes on that as well too.
Yes, sir.
What's Meta up to? Yeah, I know I was talking to Jesse not too long ago. In regards to Meta, and see how it's been performing. Yeah, down about 0.8%. I mean, still within this range. So I think it's something along those lines. Just like if there's writers involved with this who've just been making bank on this extremely wide spread.
Yeah,
it'd be tough. You just go so far out because think about how long it's been consolidating. November of 25. You have a couple of whipsaw moves, but you've just been stuck within this range for quite some time here, Obi, when it comes to META. Haven't put in a new all-time high since August of 2025. So a year ago, this name hasn't put in an all-time high. I still like this name. I'm going to continue to like it for the foreseeable future. The fact that they're just going to be paying some cash fines, I think, is a slap on the wrist and is a tailwind for these guys.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, sorry, I was just going to weigh in quickly, too. Like I said, I read through the entire little press release, and what's interesting is the emphasis in the press release is very much, and again, this is probably part of the agreement, on trying to get TikTok and YouTube to come settle as well. That's clearly what the states really want. And Rob Bonta, State AG of California, said as much today on CNBC. So it's interesting. I feel like they view Meta as just one step of a wider goal.
Yeah.
Which I thought should be kind of interesting approach.
It would make sense. Like if you're going to go after one, you probably go after some of the other larger social media giants as well. Like TikTok, if anything, people saying that algorithm is pretty crazy. Here comes this one 228.90 break. OBS, we cracked through some support levels, and the selling pressure is really starting to pick up here. Salesforce is just on a different planet at this point. I mean, it's crazy, and I understand it's like, man, we were really kicking this stock when it was down, but actually, as I read through the port and I listened to Mark, I'm like, the numbers aren't actually all that bad, really. And then sure enough, I think, and this was a couple of quarters ago as it was just continuing to slide. It was somewhere around here. And even on an additional report, I'm like, you know what? It's actually not that bad. Now you're up 71% off of the lows. And sure enough, there it is. Because I was using it as a comparison to another company. I'm like, if this company is doing this, and yet we're selling off over here, it doesn't really make sense. And obviously it doesn't have to be rational because the market can be irrational at times. But anyways, let's send it over to Dara, see what she's got going on.
Keep an eye on Meta, guys. We actually have a catalyst on this as well. This came out a couple of minutes ago from Business Insider. Business Insider reporting that Meta is building a new AI agent called Hatch. Now, apparently they released an internal memo in which they said that with Hatch, you can, quote, do anything you can do online. So it will basically act for you online. It connects directly to apps like OpenTable, Spotify, and Instagram. Spotify is not moving on this. I already checked. Apparently, it's designed to be like a hyper efficient and hyper effective AI assistant.
Nice short there, Obi. I was in it initially. I took a scalp, but just on this latter half here, when you open up at the lower end, good opportunity to get involved. Give you 50, 60 cents just like that. Now, I don't know where the selling is going to stop at this point. We're not too far. We weren't at, not too long ago, not too far off of the all-time high of $335, 2.3%. So, I mean, that could definitely happen relatively soon. But again, we have to wait for these short contracts to kind of expire. Let's send it over to Adara.
Wall Street Journal reporting that the White House has spurned a return to the June deal with Iran. So I guess they're saying that there's no chance we're going to go back to that deal that was made in June. It's unclear if there's any new information here or if this is just a rehashing of earlier things that we heard from outgoing White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, who, if you recall, today said that the U.S. and Iran are not in talks and the U.S. is open to whatever when it comes to Iran. Again, Wall Street Journal just reporting that the White House is spurting a return to the June deal with Iran. I would love details on this story to get a sense of what they actually mean by this. If I get them, I will keep you all posted. Back to you.
So right before that came in, yeah, volume and order flow started to get a little shaken up here. So yeah, some volatility coming into the market on that news. A bit of a pullback here on that initial flush there. CRM also pulling back through 251. Nvidia holding below this 229 as of right now. Not a serious kind of a reaction just yet. Let's take a quick look at USO. I think that's where the party really is at, guys. Right USO, now, yeah. Boom. There it is, aggressive strength, 128.80s all the way up to 129.65, $1 move on that news report right there. So oil catching a bit of a bid. Let's see if that selling steps into the market as well, like we've been seeing over the past year or so. Bit of a, opposite directionality there when it comes to the market and oil. A little bit earlier today, I mentioned, I was like, hey, they're both going up. Nvidia's up, SPY's up, and USO is up on the day. I was like, something's happening here. Interestingly enough, bit of a news later on in the day, more aggressive bid on that USO here. So let's see if we can crack through this 228 halves on Nvidia for a pull into, I guess, a little bit lower. We've been grinding up since the morning session. The breakout of 226 happening here at around, when was that? 226 is, I guess, around 11-ish initially. We chop it up, pull back into VWAP, and then trend all the way back up to these highs. So pretty solid earnings day one when it comes to Nvidia here. So where did it go? All right, so I got confused. I'm like, where did my chart go? I don't see my stuffs. So there it is, 228. We'll see if it happens. I liked the 229 breakdown, but it didn't really. I got in a bit late. You guys can see my entry is 88. That's 12 pennies, way too late on this, and you can see coming right back in. So probably going to be a little bit light on this one as it pulls right back into my average. Maybe looking for a better place to potentially get in. Oil stepping it right back into 129. So nothing too crazy just yet there on USO. Other than that $1 pop, market's not really doing too much.
There's a potential good polarity here, Obi. I mean, like support this acts as resistance, right? So you have that flip in use. So if that holds this 229 level, I wouldn't be surprised if you see some more downside here. Please chart IREN. I have a 37 call going into earnings up 18%. Yeah, absolutely. Let's take a look at IREN up 18. You're up 18%. Congratulations. I mean, that's good, right? Like 37 call, never said when it was expiring. Just understand the fact that you are always at risk, especially going into the earnings report, of it going the opposite direction, right? Like a lot of us were just uncertain. A lot of us were uncertain what was going to happen with NVDA on the report, and then sure enough, you expect the unexpected at times, and I think that's been the narrative. Always be prepared. So we're reporting after the bell today at approximately, oh wow, why? Okay, it's 5:15. So yeah, just be cautious. There's tricks of the trades of how you can lock in profit and everything along those. Look, Obi, what was once support acting as resistance, nice over-under play right there. A reversal in structure, so change in structure. Pretty good look, and I do believe we're going to head in, put in a new low at 228.50 as the selling pressure really starts to pick up here in NVDA. Let's see if it can continue its slide. The lower it gets, the better price I get. I bought some more today at 224. I bought some at 205 yesterday. And if we get into the teens, I'll look to allocate a little bit more because $100 billion quarters incoming.
Yes, sir. So yeah, a bit of a pullback there. I did like that hold of that 229 area. So I did get a little bit re-involved on the trade here. Let's see if we can trend a little bit lower. 228 halves is the next stair step down. And I just kept it simple. I was like, all right, if we're going to trend a little bit lower, I'm just going to sell a little bit every 10 pennies and see if I can just get with the trend there and get involved back into back into it as it continues to work, or until it continues to work. So going to be watching this one as of right now. Alphabet pulling back. Amazon continues to make fresh lows. So the market went all the way back down to VWAP, went all the way back up to its highs, now pulling back towards in the direction of VWAP. But while all of that was happening, Google just pretty much flat sideways, and Amazon slowly but surely bleeding to the downside, not catching any sort of a relief. So interesting look. We know that some retail names were hit pretty bad this over the past couple of days as well. So I want to know what's going on there potentially. So I'll have to wait and see. 228.60s really kind of holding a bit of support here on top of the half. Nothing significant. I'm just talking about random flurries that I'm seeing on the tape. Half that stuff is random and insignificant to say the least. So let's just see if we just see more waves of red. Keep it simple. Keep it as simple as possible. I want to see more waves of red. Dark red specifically, that signifies participants hitting the bid and below the bid as well. So I want to see some dark red as well. So where you guys might be asking, am I seeing the dark red? Well, right here on this here tape. So bright greens, people hitting up into the offer. Yellows are mid prints. Greens are in the offer. Reds are into the bid. And lights are above. Darks are below. So that's what I have kind of in terms of the tape setup. So if it's a dark red, I can see some aggression. If it's a light green, I can see some aggression as well. So good indicators for tape, in my opinion. But yeah, still kind of holding up this level. So no continuation. But there is continuation on USO, dude. USO 130.
It's still going?
It's still going to the upside. That's why I'm kind of holding on to this Nvidia position. Because I'm like, if USO really gets going, then we might see a little bit of a continuation to the downside here in the market.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Obi.
And I like that.
Yeah, I mean, we were just too early on our short attempts, right? Like, this is a small W. We try this one here, stopped out. Once we get that pop and that fade with no continuation is when it's been a really good opportunity to engage on that one. Boom, to the downside. But we'll take that scalp, eliminating some of that loss. We've actually only traded one name today, and that was and the majority of our size was executed via NVDA. I'll zoom out. We'll get this rolling here. Just a quick trade review on what we had. As soon as I seen last night after the bell that we were continuing on the path that we were going to focus on this underlying asset getting to $230. We are fortunate enough to sit in that camp, be a part of it for that move into there. But boom, off to the races we go. We peace out, stop out, break even. Not too bad, we'll take it. Another attempt here. Unfortunately, we didn't get the meat of the move here. We scalp out, but it's like, all right, no problem. We're still banking. Get involved once again, comes back in. As soon as we get into money, we hold that. We take some more.
There's more news. There's definitely more news.
Of the news. Yeah, all right. As soon as we're ready, we'll send it off. Did you see some volatility step in on USO or?
No, on Nvidia.
On NVDA?
I don't know. Maybe I'm just speculating. Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, USO up.
Yeah.
NVDA down, right? Like, it's that size coming in. Those short shares are starting to come in. So
yeah, definitely.
on NVDA. Just had to wait for 230.
Back into 250 here on CRM.
Yeah, man, it's at the high. It went to the high of the day.
Yeah, it broke out. We got to 252s and change. So if you took that, high a day breakout trade, like that was nice. It gave you a quick little scalp for a couple bucks. But pulling right back into that 250, the question becomes now, guys. Can we sustain above 250? We had that multi, is it an hour? I don't know, roughly. It was a very long time, right? So multi-minute consolidation here on the CRM, just underneath that 250, and then we kind of wind up, and then break out of it. Don't go that far, only about a couple dollars off. So Watching that, let's see if that becomes into anything significant. Does that resistance become into support is what I mean. On CRM, on top of that, 250 as USO continues its trend to the upside right there, now printing above 130. So yeah, a little bit of a bid stepping in here on the USO. Not really too much selling stepping into the market though. CrowdStrike at some fresh highs, continuing to trend up. Palantir, I thought that might have been a good reversion, but still holding up, still trending to the upside. Nike is just doing it to the downside. Bit of a continuation right there. DKS still holding that 130 level from this morning, so nothing too crazy. There's that push down on Nvidia. I was like, that tape is telling something's coming in. Buddy doesn't step in until, what, a couple minutes later? Forget about seeing Burry on the options chains, bro. I see the spoofy man here on the Nvidia book and tape a couple minutes before he decides to start. The spoofy man? The spoofy man. Come on.
Crazy.
You know, no, it's interesting. So all jokes aside, I was just reading up on how some large participants like to initiate their positions and their algorithms. So basically, it's kind of like a punch and TWAP type of style. So what they do, they try to get in aggressively with a decent chunk of their size initially, and then they put the rest on for TWAP. So how does that? Think about it. How would that look if you're watching the tape?
VWAP?
Time-weighted average price.
Oh, okay. All right.
Boy.
All right. All right.
Yeah. So TWAP is basically you can turn it on, and based off of a time, you can make transactions based off of increment in time. So that's kind of a TWAP, kind of similar to VWAP, but it's just time weighted.
Yeah, it's TWAP. Yeah.
Time weighted. It's not price weighted. So regardless of price. All right, so boom, nothing. I can just read a book or hack your computer and see what you've worked on saying KMX Savage. Yeah, sure, man, go for it. Do it. You can read up on all the minuscule edge that I may or may not have in some of the mean reversion stuffs that.
Yeah, that was really nice. Really nice
play. Take it. So 250 breaking down, coming in right now on that CRM. So I guess that resistance not really holding as support right now. So back through 250 could be a similar trade as the back through 230 here on Nvidia. So watching both of these names, not really seeing too much. Yeah, exactly, for sure, bro. Seeing dead. So yeah, I see. You know, saying like, oh, I see dead people when the market's not really doing too much. That's something that I say as well. I see dead stocks. Nothing's really happening.
Oh, really?
But something that is happening is the sellers are very much on board here on the NVDA. Back into VWAP. Where is VWAP, you may ask? I'm asking that same question. Where is that VWAP? Oh boy, that's far.
They get 225.
225.80.
Yeah,
so 226 is so $2. Not that much when you look at percentage ATR, especially if you're looking at on earnings day. Yeah. That ATR might be a little bit. You might do multiples of
Ben
normal
Affleck,
ATR.
That's crazy.
So yeah, he's saying
Jesse, man, stop killing me.
What is Jesse saying?
Yeah, he just kills me, man. Oh man, yeah, oh boy, oh boy, it's right. Oh man, it was a rough start for me this morning, and then things turned around. But yeah, Obi, it's that time. It's oh boy.
Is it that? Oh boy, it's 2 o'clock.
It's 2 o'clock,
all right,
man.
Okay.
Oh boy.
But I'm not done trading my position yet.
You're not done? Oh, okay. All right. So you take more time. All right, we'll take more time here.
They already switched the board up.
They already switched the board up.
Yeah. Oh man. Now Nvidia's really pushing into the bid here. Oh my God.
Obi,
228s.
Obi, I use this analogy. You know when, like during a comedy show, when they want you off the stage, they put the red light up there?
Yeah, they turn the light.
They changed they changed it. So like, get out of here. Yeah, get these guys out of here. It's been 3 hours. No, I'm only messing around with you guys, just so you know. All right, guys. Fantastic.
Good luck.
Solid week, Obi. Yes. Nice 2:30 break. We waited quite some time for that. Some banger trades. I'm all out of my NVDA
Good luck
trade.
with the rest of your week.
I hope everyone had a fantastic one here today. All out NVDA. It was an absolute banger, rocking and rolling. Great time today, everybody. See you, Jesse. See you, everyone in the chat. Make sure your Friday Junior, you make the best of it. Don't spend it all in one